Colorado High School Activities Association football is on Morgan County's B106 and B106.net tonight from Legion Field in Fort Morgan. The Silver Creek Raptors will take on the Fort Morgan Mustangs. John Beltran with Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde. We're going to kick off here in a few minutes, but oddly, there's only one team out here, which is the Mustangs. We're still waiting for Silver Creek. And as of right now, kickoff, if you're listening live, is slated to be in 4.5 minutes. So, maybe Brian, you never know here. They weren't. Silver Creek was not on the field here for the national anthem, obviously, which played a few minutes ago. So something is not in sync here completely, including some element of communication. Because in all my years covering football, I've never seen this where you're minutes away from kickoff. And now here comes Silver Creek, and that's only about 4 players emerging from the locker room, and those, I would guess, are the team captains.
Yeah, they've been waiting out here on the Mustang side to go out along with the referees to get the flip taken care of, and they're finally getting the captains out here.
Well, let's run through the Mustang defensive starting lineup because this is as stacked as Fort Morgan's been all year in terms of their health. Of course, in the defensive backfield, you've got Andrew Monroe and Donovan Moya, sophomore and junior respectively, along with junior J.P. Hamer. Luis Garcia and Grayson Garber, part of that defensive backfield. The rest of them go like this. Isaac Linker, along with Trey McBride. Trey didn't play any defense last week, did he, Brian?
No, he did not.
Jimmy Keller, a solid senior linebacker. John Hokenedel. Dylan McBride, who's made a lot of plays since he came back to the lineup starting with that Holy Family game. And Gerardo Miranda. Now the captains are out at midfield. The Mustangs are in their home blacks, coached by Harrison Chisholm, assisted by Greg Edson, Josh Langford, Jeff Peterson, Jim Kreckemeyer, Ian Moreno, Tyrone Ortiz, Seth Wolf, Chris Cobley, TJ Schneider, Andy Schoen, and Kyle Graulis. And this team from Longmont, Silver Creek, in their road whites. And they are coached by Mike Apodaca. Austin Apodaca, his son, who won a state championship. I think quarterbacked at Washington State, if I remember correctly. Anyway, he's one of the assistants along with Brian McGee, Brad Stewart, Kevin Beck, Ben Wu Ching, Chad Olinger, Kevin Hilliard, and Keith Huntington. This will be interesting to see if Fort Morgan wins the toss, what they decide to do. Establish some momentum offensively and pick up where they left off last week, or take that defense, which, let's face it, personnel-wise, hasn't been this strong since the Brush game because of the addition of Trey McBride, and just be on that side of the football. Because, I mean, they're obviously used to defending that spread. That's what they're going to be facing tonight, is that spread.
Yeah, they've got they got Trey back, and Dylan's been in there. He missed, I think he probably missed that first game anyway, or two.
Yep.
And since he's been back, we got Jimmy Keller back out there. So it's a strong defense, and they may have to, put some points on the boards for the Mustangs to try and stay in this game.
Well, Silver Creek has deferred, and Fort Morgan will receive. Kevin, if you've got field conditions, temperature down there, how's it looking down there? Because it's going to be cooling off as the night progresses.
Yeah, at this point it's really not too bad. There's a very light breeze coming in, kind of blowing off to the northwest, barely raising the flag up. So as long as the wind stays down, I think it's going to be a perfect night for football.
All right, thank you very much, Kevin. As the Mustangs, again, will be receiving. That normally means Jacob Ortega will be back to receive. He's been back there normally with either David Sarinana, who I understand was in the hospital recently, might still be there. And so it could be Daniel Narvaez. Let's see who the Mustangs employ for their return game. Because you just mentioned special teams. It's a big element. Maybe not this element of special teams as much as kicking away from T.J. Blazin, who is he's a monster on special teams for the Silver Creek Raptors. All right, it will be Ortega, J.P. Hamer. Just those two. Back deep to receive. Andrew Monroe will be several yards in front of them to kick off this game, the opening kickoff tonight. is brought to you by Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance. Looking to find insurance for your car, home, or even for you? Call Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance with locations in Brush and Fort Morgan. They can help you with your home, car, health, or life insurance questions or provide a quote. That is Ingmeyer Phillips Insurance. Colton Graybow will be kicking it off for the Silver Creek Raptors. Only the third home game for Fort Morgan this season, and we're already in mid-October. And game number 7 is underway. High and deep, and backing up is Ortega, and it bounces about 7 yards deep into the end zone. That's a weapon right there.
Yeah, he's got quite a leg on him there. He got that, as you said, about 7 yards into the end zone. So Mustangs will come out 1st and 10 on their 20 and see what they can produce against this Raptor defense.
And Silver Creek has been obviously efficient on both ends, but they have lost 2 games this year, so not as invincible as Meade, which is 6-0, even though they're out of another conference, the Tri-Valley. And Tri-Valley played last night, as did the Northern, with the exception of this game. Full house backfield, Linkers under center. Hokenettle resets on 1st and 10 from the 20. Handoff to the deep man, running right with a big hole along the sideline. That is McBride, and Trey McBride is knocked out of bounds across the 40-yard line to about the 42. And he found a huge gap on the outside, and already a big impact made by McBride. That's a gain of 21 for the senior headed to Colorado State.
Yeah, he got that edge out there. They did a nice job on that right offensive end out there and cleared the path for him. They got Christensen out there.
Andreek Nechtel, a senior linebacker, pushed him out of bounds. 1st and 10 for the 41-yard line. Again, Linker under center, same formation. McBride has it running off the right side, and he's tackled after a short gain. That was the definition of an individual tackle by K.J. Rodriguez, a 6'1", 195-pound defensive end. It's a gain of 2, 2nd down and 8, and if Rodriguez is not there, Brian, he's still running.
Yeah, he came from across the other side of the field. Somebody may have to pick that up on the Linker may have to pick him up after he hands off to try and keep him from catching up to McBride.
The shorter the game is, the better for the Mustangs. They can keep running that ball. 2nd down and 8 from their own 43-yard line. Receiver split left and right. Backs are now in an eye. Now McBride resets, only one in the backfield, and that is Hokenettle. And rolling to his right is Linker. Pressure coming, throws off his back foot, incomplete. Well short of the target, Garver. And that was nearly intentional grounding if he didn't get it further down the field, but Linker did a nice job of not taking a loss there. It'll be 3rd down and 8 to go for Fort Morgan. And if the Mustangs have to throw the ball too much, that's going to be an issue.
Yeah, they have to pick that defensive, left defensive end came in there. Trevor Riters, R-I-T-E-R-S, 6'3", 195 linebacker.
3rd down and 8 to go for the Mustangs. One setback. Blitz is coming. Linker's rolling to his left. Rodriguez applying pressure, throwing on the run. It's incomplete. Garcia was out there at the 46-yard line, but throwing against his body was Linker. And again, he had to evade pressure. It'll be 4th and 8, and the Mustangs will be forced to punt.
Yeah, running left like that and trying to hit somebody, that's a tough proposition for anybody. So, we have a flag on the...
Well, let's see. I mean, there was somebody out there, but it looks like it's against Fort Morgan that will be declined by Silver Creek.
Nice.
Yep, it's illegal formation against the Mustangs, so that's declined. 4th and 8 from the 43. And we should see Luis Garcia, the left-footed senior punter for Fort Morgan, back deep to receive. There he is, TJ Blazin. He's been very good on special teams, some big returns so far this year, and he's standing at the middle of the field at the 20-yard line. The snap is perfect. Here comes the rush, and he gets it off end over end, right down the middle. Fair catch is called, and he makes the catch at the 21, and there is a flag, I think, maybe running into the punter. It's not a roughing. Oh, no, it is a roughing. Wow. I mean, I don't think Garcia even went down.
Well, he did, but, he might be able to get an Oscar for a little bit of that, but it wasn't anything like what we saw last week. Those were definitely running into the kickers last week, or roughing the kickers last week.
I mean, there were 3 or 4 coming for Silver Creek, but it didn't look that blatant, but
no.
It is called a personal foul, roughing the punter, so that extends the Mustang drive. And The Mustangs will have the football at the 43-yard line of Silver Creek. It'll be 1st and 10. Boy, that's a huge play. And that's almost like a turnover, Brian.
Yep. Yeah, it is.
Full house backfield from the 43. Linker under center. Handoff off the left side to McBride. Breaks out of a tackle. Still on his feet. And he drives inside the 40 towards the 39. We'll call it a gain of 3 as his left knee was down at the 40. 2nd down and 7. But again, that's a carry that normally goes for a yard if you're not Trey McBride.
That's right, yeah. He kind of spun out of it, but his strength and stuff, he just pulled out of that and got another couple of yards.
2nd down and 7 for the Mustangs at the 40-yard line. 10:22 to go in the opening quarter. Silver Creek has yet to touch the football because of a roughing the punter. Linker again will line up under center. Backs in an eye. Hokenedel, and then now McBride resetting on that right side in the slot. And Linker's going to roll to his right. Pressure coming. He'll take off with the football. Stutter step to the 40. Back to the middle to the 32. Looks like he's got a 1st down. A nice move there by Isaac Linker, the junior. Running right down the middle of the field. And it's a gain, we'll call it, of close to 9 yards and a Mustang 1st down.
Yeah, he didn't. He pulled it down right away. He was getting some pressure from the outside. And he just pulled it down, found a lane up the middle, and got a 1st down for the Mustangs.
1st and 10, just inside the Silver Creek 32. And again, just speed the game up. If the Mustangs can speed it up with a running game and take advantage of mistakes by Silver Creek, that'll be beneficial, no doubt. 1st and 10, Fort Morgan at the Silver Creek 32. Again, McBride resetting left side, and now Linker is going to be pressured, and he's going to be taken down at the 38-yard line, and Rodriguez was unblocked. There is a flag down.
McBride never got set. Linker never got him a chance to get set.
Well, that's a 2nd illegal formation, but they'll decline that penalty. It'll be a loss of 5. Yep, illegal motion this time instead of illegal formation. It'll be 2nd down and 15, Fort Morgan from the Silver Creek 37. And again, they didn't run out of this formation that much at all, really, last week, which is why, you're going to have an adjustment period. It's like game 1 all over again.
Yeah, they ran out of the full house backfield last week with 3 guys in the backfield. So,
well, yeah, Hokenedel's been in front of McBride, then he resets, and Hokenedel's the lone setback. That's the case right here. Out of the pistol, 2 receivers split each side, 2nd and 15. Linker spins, rolls to his right, throws on the run. The pass is incomplete along the sideline. It was intended over there for Luis Garcia, but there was simply nowhere to throw the football. And Linker is 0 out of 3 in the early going. 3rd down and 15 for Fort Morgan.
Yeah, he's not getting a lot of time. Of course, he doesn't sit in the pocket very often anyway. He likes to roll out, but he was getting pressure. That defensive front, plus they bring a linebacker once in a while, and they're putting pressure on Linker.
3rd down and 15 for the Silver Creek 37. 2 receivers split each side. Again, the lone setback is Hokenedel. Out of the pistol once again. Linker spins to his left. Has plenty of time. Throws on the run along the sideline. The pass is incomplete. And there was contact down the field. That'll be pass interference. That will be a pass interference as the receiver was being tackled at about the 10-yard line. That would be the tight end, Adam Cardona. And he was tackled over there in the secondary. It looked like making contact was Brandon Harper.
So we'll see if that's I know it's a 15-yard penalty. I believe it's a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, it is a 15-yard penalty. And
see if that's enough to get him to the...
While it was 3rd and 15, it should be a 1st down. Yep, it is pass interference. And, Brian, that had no shot of being caught. All you have to do is let the ball go. So those are 2 huge mistakes that the Raptors have made in the early going here.
Yeah, we'll let them make the mistakes tonight and let Fort Morgan play a clean game here so far.
So it should be 1st down and 10 for the Mustangs. That football should be placed. Oh, what are they doing here? They've got to walk it off.
Well, if they marked off 5 one way, it should be a 1st.
I mean, it's right at the marker. There's no question about it because it was 3rd and 15. I wonder if they have to measure. Yeah, it'll be 3rd down and less than a yard to go with a football just shy of the 22. Linker's under center. More than likely, this will go to McBride.
They jumped.
Well, let's say.
Yeah, they're calling it on.
It is offsides against Silver Creek. Yeah, the Silver Creek coaches thought it was Fort Morgan that had the false start, but Silver Creek has committed, 3 penalties now for 35 yards. They had the roughing the punter, the pass interference, and that penalty, but the Mustangs have not been clean either. They've had the illegal formation and the illegal procedure, or the false start, I should say. First and 10 from the 17. Linker hands off right side of McBride. Looks for the edge, swings it to the outside, but he's down right at the line of scrimmage. Even after a stiff arm, might have gotten half a yard. Man, Rodriguez is all over the field there for Silver Creek. And also is Rex Olinger, a 5'10", 180-pound junior linebacker. It'll be second down and 10. That's a rare 0 carry there for Trey McBride.
Yeah, they're catching him from the backside. They're going to have to figure out some way to get that Rodriguez slowed down from the backside.
8:23 to go in the opening quarter. No score. Second down and 10 for the Mustangs at the 17-yard line of Silver Creek. One receiver to the left. The backs are split. Linker is under center this time. Different formation. 3-step drop, and now, what do we have? Do we have a timeout?
No, McBride took off too early.
Boy, Trey is a little bit out of sync with the rest of the offense because that's his second penalty already. But again, it's almost like his second game of the season when you look at it, and they did not run out of some of these formations last week. So even as good a player as Trey is, this is not totally unexpected because, again, they're doing new things here. So for the Mustangs, it'll be, now you're looking at second down and about 14. That football is just inside the Silver Creek 21. Again, Silver Creek has yet to touch the football. The Mustangs have benefited from a roughing the punter penalty. They've held the football for over 4 minutes. Out of the pistol, second and 14. Linker rolls to his right, still rolling, throwing deep over the middle. The pass is complete. It's completed about the 9-yard line, or maybe just the 10 to Luis Garcia, who fell with his back to the 9. Well, that's an outstanding play, an excellent throw by Linker, a gain of 11. And now you're looking at third down and 3, and you need plays like that. That's the first completion for Isaac Linker.
Yeah, they're going to have to go to other people because when McBride split out on that one, they were sending a safety out there with him, so he was going to be double teamed out there.
Yeah,
so somebody will have to step up besides Trey.
Well, that's part of his job, Brian. He's going to be a big-time decoy.
Right.
Third down and 3 after the gain of 11. Receiver split left and right. Hokenettle, the lone setback out of the pistol. Linker again rolls to his right, and now we have another stoppage. I mean, this is crazy. I mean, this game has no flow in the early going, and that's a false start against Fort Morgan. So we've actually had a false start, an illegal formation, and an illegal motion, to clarify what I was trying to say earlier. And so far in this game, we haven't even played half a quarter. Between the two teams, we have 50 yards in penalties.
Yeah, not clean. Not for not when you're playing your 7th game of the season, this kind of stuff. Of course, like we said, at least with Fort Morgan, though, they're bringing kids back that haven't been in for a while, so just getting everybody on the same page.
Third down and 8, Fort Morgan at the Silver Creek 15-yard line. Again, receiver split left and right. Hokenettle, the lone setback from the pistol formation. 5-stripe drop for Linker, looking deep over the middle. The pass is going to be caught. Touchdown! Touchdown, a few yards into the end zone, and that is Grayson Garver. What a play for the Mustangs as they get on the board. On that connection from Linker to Garver, they lead 6-0.
Yeah, he came from the left side and cut to the middle, and Linker found him, and Garver went up to get it. He did a nice job of blocking out that defensive back to get that ball.
Now the extra point to be attempted by Jimenez. Another flag is down. And that was from 15 yards away, Brian. Is that the connection there?
Yep. Illegal substitution.
I used to be good at math.
So that'll move him back 5.
Well, Jimenez is more than capable of making this extra point. It'll be a 25-yard extra point, as Grayson Garver did a nice job like Luis Garcia did earlier in the drive, and the extra point by Jimenez is booted high and deep and right in between the uprights. We have 6:34 to go in the opening quarter. Fort Morgan 7, Silver Creek nothing. This is Morgan County's B106 and B106.net. Isaac Linker with a 15-yard touchdown pass to Grayson Garver. And the Mustangs take advantage of a roughing the punter penalty against Silver Creek, and they've got the early 7-0 lead. And Jose Jimenez will be kicking it off for the Mustangs. Now, the special teams that Brian talked about, it's got to show up right here. And this one is high and pretty short along the sideline. Bounces at the 20. It's a loose football. And Rodriguez bounces on it and falls on it at about the 21 or 22. That was dangerous there. That could have been a Mustang football there.
Yeah, they're keeping it away from that return man. So,
well, they got to do that. I mean, that's there's no other way to play it. So Silver Creek has the football after Fort Morgan on their opening drive, with some help, was able to score. And by the way, that was an excellent pass by Isaac Linker. I mean, he had to throw that a little bit across his body. 1st and 10. Colin Black is the quarterback from the 22-yard line. And he'll hand it off and stutter stepping right up the middle across the 25 to the 28. Let's see if that's Knechtel. Andre Knechtel, he's their leading ball carrier, and he gained 6 on the play. They'll be right up to the line of scrimmage out of that. Looks like more of a, back to a pistol formation. And you have trips to the right on 2nd down and 4. Quick drop, throw out to the left. The pass is caught at the 29, but hit right there and driven back at the 30. It's going to be Joe Roth-Bagret, one of the top receivers on this team, and looks like Andrew Monroe was there with Dylan McBride. Jimmy Keller was around the football as well. It's a gain of 2. 3rd down and 2 to go. Trips to the right again, out of the pistol. Mustangs move, but they didn't cross the line of scrimmage. On 3rd and 2 with 1 setback, that's Knechtel. Again, receiving play instructions on the sideline. Colin Black is going to hand it off to Knechtel. He's hit in the backfield and thrown down for a loss at the 28-yard line. Looked like John Hokenettle got in there first and threw him down for a loss of 2. It'll be 4th down, and that's Mustang football, Brian Nickel.
Yeah, that's what we've been looking for. And they shut Silver Creek down there on 3 plays.
Kevin, you're feeling a little bit of a different energy down there based on the way the Mustangs have played so far here in the opening quarter.
Absolutely. This is just amazing how excited the Mustangs are playing, and they're up, and they're playing Mustang football. They're smashing them in the mouth and playing great defense.
All right, so here we go now to punt. Let's see who the punter is on this team. I don't think it's Graybow this time. Here for Silver Creek. There's some pressure coming. High and fairly short. A fair catch called by Garcia, and he went down to his knees at the 29-yard line. The punt from Spencer Rich, a junior. And the Mustangs will have it right there, but that could have been a little bit dangerous there, Brian.
Yeah, he was a little unsure about that. He went down with it to keep it within his body, so it was a little dicey, but Fort Morgan has a good starting position for the second drive.
1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line, up 7-0 on a 15-yard touchdown pass from Linker to Grayson Garber. 4:40 to go here in the opening quarter from Fort Morgan. Full house backfield. Linker under center. Awaits the snap. Hands it off right side to McBride. Stiffs arm to the defender. And he's across the 30 to the 35 and down at about maybe the 36-yard line. Man, he's got a strong stiff arm.
Yeah.
And that allows him to separate himself from the defender. Trey McBride was tackled after a gain of 6, 2nd down and 4 for the Mustangs, and McBride has 5 carries so far unofficially for 32 yards.
Yeah, he's just going right so far. He hasn't taken off to the left side. Their strong side is their right side of their offensive line.
Again, Brian, just shorten the game. Shorten the game. That's to the Mustangs' advantage. Out of the pistol, 2 receivers split each side. Hokenettle, the lone setback, rolling to his left is Linker. Pressure coming backside. There's a hold on Fort Morgan. He'll take off with the football along the sideline. Tackle from behind at about the 39-yard line, but the Mustangs are going to go backwards, and they have got to do something. And you mentioned it a couple of minutes ago. KJ Rodriguez is getting free on many of these plays, and it's pretty obvious that Fort Morgan is not blocking him.
Yeah, and this will cost them 10 yards, so basically be about a 2nd and 15.
Yep, it's going to go back, and the Mustangs now hurting themselves with field position. And, Brian, this has not been a well-played first quarter on both sides, considering the amount of penalties that have been committed.
Correct. And that was one of my points in the nickel package was penalties. It's costing them right now.
Second down. Boy, that's about 20 to go for Fort Morgan at their own 20-yard line because that penalty was well behind the line of scrimmage. Out of the pistol, Linker, low snap, rolls to his left, has some time, now pressure comes, and now he nearly was sacked, but he runs out of it, and he's tackled from behind along the sideline across the 20 to about the 22 or 23, so he was able to pick up positive yardage, but again, Linker's getting harassed on quite a few of these plays. Nonetheless, he did advance for 3 yards, 3rd down and 17 for the Mustangs.
Yeah, he rolls out anyway, but he was running for his life out there. He could have lost some more yardage out there, but he pulled out of it. I don't know why he was waving. He ran out of bounds. Maybe they started the clock up and weren't supposed to.
The Mustang touchdown was brought to you by Cargill Meat Solutions, committed to feeding the world in a responsible way by reducing environmental impact and improving products and processes. Learn about Cargill's story of commitment at Cargill.com. 2 receivers split each side. Man in motion to the right. On 3rd down and another. Did Trey take off again a little bit too soon? Yeah, this will be a false start. Wow. And again, Fort Morgan is in the lead, but their flow has been disruptive at times because of the number of penalties they've had, all on offense.
And they called that one on Jacob Ortega.
Yep. Yeah, I think Trey was okay on that one. But it's 3rd down and 22. They're at their own 17. They've got to get to the 39. Let's see what the Mustangs can do here and pull something out of the hat. 2 receivers split each side. McBride is in motion to the right. Out of the pistol. Linker rolls that way, sets up a screen to the left. It's caught underneath, but nothing doing. Maybe to the 23. And that's about it. That was Jacob Ortega. So he's got a little bit of a gain. It'll go for about, they give him the 24, 7 yards to Ortega. But it'll be 4th down and 15, and the Mustangs will have to punt, and you could bet Silver Creek is going to be probably more disciplined here in terms of what they do to not rush the punter too hard. With too much aggression.
Nice
Perfect snap. Yeah, they back off. And Garcia gets an end-over-end punt, fielded at the 45, spinning his blazing out of it, breaks 2 tackles, and was going for the sideline, but tackled at the 46 or 47-yard line. That's an excellent open field special teams tackle, and it looked like Donovan Moyer, J.P. Hamer, was able to make the play.
Yeah, they corralled him well on that one. He looks like a spinner out there. He spun twice out of some would-be tackles, but he got free but was pulled down for virtually no gain.
Yeah, I used to see that out of the Akron Rams and that single wing offense. They would just spin. 1st and 10 from their own 47. Out of the pistol, here is Colin Black. Handoff right up the gut. Knechtel is down after a gain of 2. Outstanding penetration by the senior Jimmy Keller. And they got to hold Knechtel in check. He's their leading rusher. They're going to give him, just the 2 yards there, close to the 50. That's 3 carries for 6 yards for Knechtel. Quickly up to the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 8. Trips to the left. And quick drop. Black throws out to his right, wide open. And not a 1st down, though. It's caught by Harper along the sideline. Or check that. That is Blazin. My bad. That's not Harper, but Blazin. And the gain there is going to be close to 7 yards. It'll be 3rd down and a long 1. Just inside the 45-yard line, and the Mustangs cross the line of scrimmage there. Yeah, over-aggressive on that play was Miranda. So that'll be a 1st down. Boy, these penalties have got to really dissipate for both teams in the second quarter, Brian. If not, we're in for a triple-digit. We're going to be in for a triple-digit night, yardage-wise combined anyway, the way this is gone.
Yeah, it's undisciplined right now, and it'll have to change.
1st and 10 for Silver Creek, just inside the Mustang 40-yard line. 2 receivers split each side. Naked backfield. 5 yards behind center is Black, awaiting the snap. In motion to the right. and they're going to flip it to him. It's going to count as a pass. Swings it along the right side across the 35 towards the 30, close to a first down. He's probably going to be a little bit short, but that does count as a pass because it was a little forward flip. And the gain is 9.
Yeah, they took care of Trey on that when he came in from that left defensive end, and they pushed him right out of the way, and Knechtel went right by him.
2nd down and 1 at the 30-yard line. 7-0 Fort Morgan in the waning moments here, the opening quarter, on a 15-yard touchdown pass from Linker to Garver. Knechtel, the lone setback, has the football. Stutter steps up the middle, first down, and he dives to the 25. It's a gain of 5 for Andrik Knechtel, his 4th carry of the game, as we're down to 1:07 to go here in the first quarter from Fort Morgan. And again, maximizing the number of plays is this Silver Creek offense. They don't waste any time. They're right back up to the line of scrimmage. On 1st down and 10 for the Raptors. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. This will be a handoff to Knechtel. Finds a small seam along the right side, but he might have had a yard, if even that. He was driven back. Keller was right there. Isaac Linker with some penetration. And the gain is nothing.
Nothing, yep.
2nd down and 10 to go. Already the 5th carry for Knechtel. With the ball resting at the 25. Trips to the left. Again out of the pistol formation with 1 receiver to the right. Silver Creek is looking for the equalizer. There's a 5-step drop, pressure coming, and now rolling to his right is Black. He's going to take off with the football. First down along the sideline. He runs out of bounds, chased by Keller. Probably at around the 15-yard line. Let's see if he's far, but he's short of a first down. He's at the 16, but it's right there near the stick. And he took advantage, seam on the right side that opened up. And the ball is down, well, only the 17, a gain of 8. Looked like he got further down the field. 3rd down and 2 to go for Silver Creek with 6.4 seconds to go. This should be the final play here of the opening quarter unless there's a defensive penalty. Again from the pistol, Knechtel is 10 yards behind a handoff, and he's hit by Hokenettle in the backfield and driven back. He's going to lose close to 3 yards. That'll be the end of the opening quarter. It'll set up as a 3rd and 5 when we come back. It's Fort Morgan 7, Silver Creek nothing on Morgan County's B106 and B106.net. John Beltran back with Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde from Legion Field in Fort Morgan. We head to the 2nd quarter where the Mustangs lead the Raptors 7-0, but Silver Creek is threatening. 3rd down and 5 for the Mustang. It's 4th, and 5 for the Mustang 20. And boy, what?
And Fort Morgan
that was jumped. Dylan McBride on the left side. He jumped. That should be a first down. Yeah, you're right. It was 3rd down and 2, and then a 4th and 5. But you got to watch the ball, and that's going to be a first down. He's got enough for the first down, looks like. Well, no, he's almost there, but, man, he's right at the stick. Boy, but if you're going to make the playoffs, you can't have seniors make mistakes, and these are really good players, but it's the adrenaline flowing, Brian. I think the adrenaline's getting the best of them. They're on certain plays, and
yeah, they got to watch the ball. Don't listen to the quarterback. They need to watch.
One, it's nobody in the middle. We've had different players do it on the ends, and I know it's very difficult because you've got the cadence.
It's going to be 4th and short.
Well, you could do a quarterback sneak here and get a first down, but they always line up in the pistol. So let's see what happens. 4th down and inches at the Mustang 15-yard line. Back to throw is Black to his right, complete. That's a first down to Blazin. At about the 12-yard line, covered by Moya, gain of 3. Isn't that amazing when you need inches? And hey, you see this at all levels now. They don't even do a quarterback sneak. They still run their conventional offense.
Yeah, it's you think you just, but they don't. He doesn't go up under center, so.
First down and 10 from the Mustang 12. And now back to throw deep in the right side of the end zone. It's a touchdown. It's called by Blazin, but he might have pushed off. I think he pushed off on Moya.
I think so. I think it's going to be offensive pass interference.
Kevin, is that what you saw down there? Because it looked like he clearly pushed off.
Absolutely. He gave him a little bit of a push there right at the end, and that's what provided that clearance for him. So they'll be penalized, and now the Mustangs have a little better chance of holding them out.
Yeah, you had a great view from there, but if Brian and I saw it, and our vision is not the best, then you know it was clearly interference. Wow, so Silver Creek has really hurt themselves with the roughing, and this is going way back. It's a 15-yard penalty from the 12 to the 27, so it's not quite a first and goal because they could get a first down at the 2. But, I mean, certainly in a situation now where they've got first and 25 at the 27-yard line. Trips to the left, one receiver to the right. Colin Black has the football, and he throws out to his left and open, but that throw is short of the target at the 20-yard line. It'll be second down. And let's see who that was out there. That was Joe Roth-Bagret. Kevin, that's and Brian, the first incomplete pass here thrown by Black. He is 4 of 5, but he's only thrown for 21 yards, so really not slinging it down the field. Second down and 25 from the 27-yard line. Trips to the right. It looked like they might have gained half a yard on the incomplete pass. That spot looks a little bit fishy. Black awaiting the snap. Deep drop, looking to set up a screen. Rolls to his right. He's got some running room. Throws along the sideline, and it's incomplete. It's off the hands of Blazin at about the 9 or 10-yard line. Well defended over there by the Mustangs. Donovan Moya near that football along with J.P. Hamer. Third down. And I'm surprised they're not trying to pick this up, Brian, a little bit at a time. They're going, well, the other play they did, but that was more, not necessarily a home run ball, but that would have been, had it been caught. That's close to a 17, 18-yard completion.
Yeah, they're not, they're trying to go for the home run every time, so it brings up a 3rd and 25, so.
Yep, from the 27-yard line. Now the ball is spotted where we thought it should have been before the last play. Well, let's see what play they decide to run here because they're in a hole even though they're in Mustang territory. From the 27, taking a lot of time getting up to the line of scrimmage, and I think there's going to be a timeout called. It is, but the timeout was called by Fort Morgan. So we'll keep it right here. And the Mustang timeout, as always, is brought to you by Ehrlich Toyota East. Whether you're in the market to purchase a new or pre-owned vehicle, Ehrlich Toyota East in Fort Morgan will fit you into the car truck of your choice. Serving all of Northeast Colorado, that is Ehrlich Toyota East. Well,
on that previous play, Trey McBride had got in there, but he cut to the center. Now that Black get outside of him to get that try for that pass. So he was getting pressured that time from Trey.
Well, here's one of the keys right now. Don't try to get too much of a jump start. Just wait till the ball is snapped. Don't give them 5 free yards.
Right.
There's been too much of that on both the offensive and defensive ends, even though the Mustangs have the early 7-0 second quarter lead. As Silver Creek has 3rd down and 25 at the Mustang 27. This is a huge game for both teams. As we mentioned earlier, an elimination game for Fort Morgan more than likely if they don't win this one. 3rd down. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Black is back to throw, and he's got protection deep up the left side of the pass. Is going to be tipped and incomplete, and it's broken up beautifully near the 3-yard line. And that was Grayson Garver using those leaps that he's got, those basketball skills, and just knocking it away as the pass was intended. Over there, it might have been for either Blazin or Moyer. It'll be 4th down, and you got to go for it here.
Yep, yeah, they're too close to punt, and probably don't have a field goal kicker that'll make that. So,
yeah, it would be a 44-yard kick. They've got to get to the 2. 4th and 25 for the Mustang 27. Knechtel, the lone setback. Trips to the left, 1 receiver to the right. That's Blazin. They might go that way. Black awaits the snap. Is back to throw. Pressure coming up the middle. He's hit as he throws deep over the middle. It's going to be intercepted, but the Mustangs, I believe, have a roughing the passer. It is picked off there by Grayson Garver. Breaks a tackle along the left sideline to the 50-yard line. This is all for naught as he cuts it back to the 30. Still on his feet to the 25. Garver to the 20. Now cuts it back. Breaks out of a tackle at the 10-yard line. And is going to be down at about the 6 or 7. But that's going to come back. I believe it was roughing the passer as the Mustangs had all the pressure. But it
was either roughing the passer or face mask because he wasn't laid on him unless he grabbed me. Yeah, it's face mask. Well, now they're calling. They said face mask on Silver Creek, but that's not. Unless that was we'll see what they're.
Yeah, it was intercepted. That's a heck of a return there by Garver. And the return went for about 84 yards, but it's all coming back.
Fourth down again, but they won't be an automatic first down.
Boy, Kevin, as athletic a play as you'll see there from Grayson Garver, because had that been clean, the Mustangs would be deep in the red zone, but now they're going to have to play some more defense.
Absolutely. Grayson had
Yeah,
a
you're
really
good.
nice move on that and made several good moves. You know, it's just unfortunate as Trey went in to make that tackle that he got his hands up high and went to the head.
All right, so it's fourth down, but this is a 15-yarder, looks like, Brian.
Yeah, it's personal foul, but they had 4th and 25. So.
Yeah, so it'll be 4th and 10. Again, what did you say at the beginning? It's Friday the 13th?
Yeah, yeah.
The season has been Friday the 13th, and that continues tonight.
It continues. Why not?
11:09 to go. We're in the second quarter. The Mustangs lead Silver Creek 7-0. Boy, that just nullified about an 84-yard interception return by Grayson Garver. And
there we go. They had the ball marked at the 22, and I was trying to figure out why it was at the 22. They were 5 yards off when they put the ball down.
it should be at the 12.
Right, but they had just
Right, I saw that, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, it's a personal foul face mask. So, like you said, Brian, it should be a 4th and 10 at the 12.
Yep. 12, 13 in there somewhere.
Here we go. Yeah, just shy of the 12 for Fort Morgan. Seems like it's been a long second quarter, and we've only played about 51 seconds. All right, so now we have a Silver Creek timeout. The Mustangs will be playing the road finale next week against Thompson Valley. Keep in mind, we do put up highlights on our KSIR B106 channel on YouTube. We shoot a few plays from each and every game, and those that turn out to be the better ones are ones that land on our KSIR B106 channel. Speaking of that, you can go on that channel on YouTube for our latest feature called Championship Reflections on the 25-year anniversary of the 1992 Fort Morgan Mustang volleyball team, which under head coach Ron Alexander went 27-0. We talked to Coach Alexander along with a lot of the players, quite a few of the players from that team. Again, Championship Reflections, 1992 Fort Morgan Mustang volleyball. It's about a 40-minute package with plenty of pictures, and that's on our KSIR B106 channel on YouTube. When you're looking for someone to walk you through the insurance world, turn to the office of Greg Mullen and Brush. Home, Auto, Life, and Health State Farm Insurance is there for you and your family. Give Greg Mullen a call, 842-4555. You know, both teams, once they get to the locker room, even though, Brian, we're still over 11 minutes away, they're going to be asking what could have been.
Right.
It's a lot of what could have beens.
Yeah, a lot of penalties here. It's you would think this was the first game of the season instead of the 7th.
Well, Fort Morgan had an interception return taken back and a touchdown nullified earlier in this drive for Silver Creek. 4th and 10 for the Mustang 12-yard line. Rodriguez is in motion to the left. Out of the gun, out of the pistol, rolling to his left is Colin Black. On the dead run, the throw's going to be incomplete, not even close to the intended receiver at the goal line. Man, he overthrew him big time. Well covered over there was Joe Rothbagret. And the Mustangs take over on downs, but Fort Morgan did apply the pressure you talked about in the pregame that they had to apply, because if he just sits there in the pocket or even comfortably out of the pocket, then Fort Morgan's going to be toast in the secondary. But they had the pressure up front, and as a result, they've got the football back. I guess we'll call it the 13 now. Sometimes it changes.
Their pass defense is a lot tighter than it was last week against Centaurus.
Oh, gosh, yes. Yeah, it's not even close. Much tighter. Let's see, the Mustangs can hold the football for several minutes. 1st and 10, backs in an eye from their own 13. Handoff on the right side across the 15, and now driven back at the 17. Let's see who that is. That's either Ortega or Hamer, I think. Certainly not McBride. And
Ortega,
looks like Ortega at the 16, a gain of 3. And Jacob's key is to hold on to the football because he's got a lot of explosiveness, but he had a fumble last week, had a fumble against Holy Family, but as long as he holds on to the football, he's a dangerous back for Fort Morgan. 2nd down and 7 for the Mustangs at their own 16-yard line. Hocanedo and Ortega in the backfield. They're in an eye. Receivers split left and right. Linker, play action, rolls to his left, wants to throw Garcia wide open. The pass is caught underneath on a diving reception at about the 28-yard line. Man, that is a outstanding catch. The throw was a little bit low, but Linker knows that Garcia's got that type of ability. It's a gain of 12 and a Mustang first down.
All right, these receivers, they'll go for the ball. They'll go high for it like Garver did for the touchdown, or where Garcia laid out for it there to pick up the first down.
Linker was 0 for 3. Now he's 4 for his last 4 for 45 yards. First and 10, Fort Morgan at their own 28-yard line. Backs remain in an eye. Handoff Ortega right side. He's got a seam across the 30, but then he's driven back at about the 31. He's running extremely hard there, lowering that shoulder. Picks up 3 yards in the play. Hey, 3's good enough at this point. Keep the clock running. Mustangs lead 7-0 in the second quarter. Just under 10 minutes to go. They scored in a 15-yard touchdown pass from Isaac Linker to Grayson Garver. From the 31, backs in an eye, and we have another false start against Fort Morgan.
Is he up back? I think it was on Hook Notley. Went down to a 4-point just before the ball was snapped.
So let's see, the football will be placed at the 26-yard line now. That'll set up a second down and 12 for the Mustangs. There's been penalties on every drive on both sides. Backs in an eye. Linker bobbles the football, then catches it, and then he's going to be taken down for a loss. He juggled that football and lost a yard. I think he pulled out from under center a little bit too quickly. It'll be third down for Fort Morgan, a passing situation. I mean, at least they have some breathing room because of the completion of Garcia. But again, there is no flow to this game whatsoever on either side because of the penalties. But I think Fort Morgan now is committing more penalties and mistakes than they would like. Third down and 13 from their own 25. Receivers split each side. Linker under center is going to spin to his left, looking to throw towards Garcia over the middle. The pass is caught by McBride at the 33, but he's short of a first down at the 34. Another very, very difficult throw for Linker. It's a gain of 9, but it'll be fourth down and about 4 yards to go for Fort Morgan.
Yeah, just come up a little short. He couldn't break away from that tackle, but he had to go down low for it, so there wasn't going to be much way he's going to be able to pick up that first down.
Let's see if they keep the ball away from T.J. Blazin. So far, so good. Garcia to punt, standing at his own 19-yard line. Heavy rush, and he gets it off. And that's a gorgeous punt towards the sideline. Blazin drops the ball at the 25, picks it up at the 22, breaks out of a tackle, then he's gang tackled at about the 24, 25-yard line. Excellent special teams play by the Mustangs.
Right, Connor Fajardo was first one down there, kind of held him, missed the initial tackle, but then the rest of the Mustangs got down there and brought him down.
So it's first and 10 for Silver Creek, trailing Fort Morgan 7-0, 8:05 to go in the opening half. They're at their own 25-yard line. There hasn't been a turnover in this game, but it feels like there's been 2 or 3.
Yeah. This Fort Morgan defense is standing tall tonight. This Silver Creek team is averaging 30 points a game.
From the pistol, trips to the left. First and 10 for Silver Creek at their own 25-yard line. Awaiting the snap. Black is going to hand it off to Knechtel. He stutter steps right up the gut, and he's down after a gain of about a yard. That's the penetration there by Miranda. And there was another Mustang slowly coming off the field who was around the football. It'll be second down and 9 to go. Just a gain of 1 there for Knechtel.
Yeah, there's not a lot of running room here for the Raptors.
Same formation. Black with a 3-step drop. Pressure coming. Throws over the middle. The pass is incomplete. Intended for Rodriguez at the 38-yard line. A little bit off to his left. Not quite the slant that I was looking to describe there. Third down, and now Black has thrown 4 straight incompletions, so he's 4 out of 8 for only 21 yards. So the Mustangs have kept that passing game in check.
Yeah, they have, as well as they've kept Knechtel under wraps too so far.
Yeah, that's the big thing. One cannot set up the other when it's not working. On third down and 9 from their own 26. Again from the pistol, Black has the football, back to throw, pressure coming up the middle, and he's sacked. Oh, he's taken down inside the 20. Jimmy Keller is able to come up with a sack, and it's a loss of about 4. It'll be 4th and 15. And again, a senior getting it done for Fort Morgan.
That's right. And first one in there, though, was McBride coming from that left end, and then that held him long enough for Keller to come up in there and clean it up. But nice pressure there by that defensive unit for the Mustangs.
Donovan Moya and Luis Garcia are back to receive. I do believe that Spencer Rich, the punter, standing at his own 8-yard line. Pressure coming. Gets off a very high punt, and that ball better drop without touching it. Watch out for Garcia, very close to the football as it lands inside the 40 to the 38. After initially bouncing it around the 43-yard line, Moya stumbled all over the place, but that was a smart play not to even field that ball, because that could have been a major mistake by Fort Morgan, and they were able to avert it.
Right. It was a great punt, but it had a lot of wobble to it. It wasn't anything that was going to be real easy to catch.
1st and 10 for the Mustangs at their own 38-yard line, leading Silver Creek 7-0, 6:40 to go in the second quarter. I'm John Beltran with Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde here on Morgan County's B106 and B106.net as the Mustangs are up to the line of scrimmage at their own 38-yard line. Backs in an eye, and Linker turns and hands it off in a big hole across the left side to Hamer, and they nearly got him around the face mask, and he's still driving to the 45-yard line. There's the whistle. And they probably should have blown that a little bit earlier because he was still fighting for yardage and they were trying to bring him down. It'll be a gain of 7 for J.P. Hamer, 2nd down and 3 to go. And Kevin, does the offensive line appear to be opening up those holes a little bit more? What are you seeing from that standpoint?
Well, early on, I think they were having some trouble, especially with the stunning. You guys talked about number 5 coming through and getting some tackles. But now that the passing game's been established, they're having to spread out, and they're dropping a lot of people back, and that opens up the run.
And there's a running play to Hamer. That's going to be close to a first down off right tackle, but he's going to be driven back at the 47-yard line, a gain of 2 for the junior. 3rd down and a yard to go. I mean, this could be a double-digit lead for the Mustangs if they just eliminate mistakes, but I like what they're doing right now.
Yep.
They've had a lot of 3, 4, 5 yards in a cloud of dust. They've run the football 13 times. McBride hasn't carried the ball for a while, but you think he's going to carry it right now on a 3rd and 1?
You know, they got him set up to, so they can get him busted outside.
At the 47. Handoff to the up man, swinging it to the left side is Moy, and then he's taken down behind the line of scrimmage. Boy, he was thrown down, could not get to the outside, and that was an outstanding defensive play. Looked like Nick Grassinger was over there to make the play for a loss of 1. What does Fort Morgan do now? So that did not fool one of those Raptors on defense at all. 4th down and 2.
Yeah, they'll have to punt it. It'd have been nice here. They'd be able to take advantage of that field position starting at their own 38.
Luis Garcia is back to punt, standing at his own 30. And again, Blazin, who's been blazing on special teams, but not tonight. Back deep to receive. Perfect snap. Garcia is partially blocked. And the ball is still bouncing along the sideline. A flag is down, and it's out of bounds at the 35-yard line of Silver Creek, but it was blocked. Now let's see what the flag is all about. And was that Rodriguez who blocked it? Man, that kid is all over the field. Let's see if that's number 5 again. Yeah.
I think it's going to be holding on the Raptors. Yep.
And that makes that penalty look even worse when you block a punt, because the ball went out of bounds at the 35. Now they're going to go backwards, so it actually turns almost into a punt that was not blocked.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's a pretty sloppy game as far as penalties are concerned.
4:29 to go, second quarter. The Mustangs on a 15-yard touchdown pass from Isaac Linker to Grayson lead the game 7-0. Silver Creek will have the football for another time here in this first half. They did threaten earlier in the quarter, but the Mustangs stopped them on a 4th and 10. Now they've got the football at their own 24. Again, that's just part of Friday the 13th. I mean, a punt is blocked, and they still don't have good field position. Again, partially blocked, albeit, but still, the Mustang defense is not in a hole whatsoever. Both teams have 2 timeouts remaining, by the way. It'll be 1st and 10 for Silver Creek at their own 24-yard line. One setback, trips to the left, out of the pistol. Black is going to hand it off to Knechtel. He's got some room. He breaks out of a tackle, and he's at the 30-yard line. In fact, that's going to be Brandon Harper instead on the carry. That's his first carry, and it's a gain of 6. 2nd down and 4. And again, right back up to the line of scrimmage. Harper is the lone setback this time, just like it was last time. 2 receivers split each side. Black, one-step drop, slant, pass is tipped and incomplete. It was tipped by the man who was trying to make the catch. Tried to tip it to himself at the 37-yard line, but dropped over there by Joe Rothbugret. And it's 3rd down and 4 yards to go. And that's 5 straight incompletions thrown by Colin Black.
Yeah, Jimmy Keller was right there, knocked it out of his hands. Because if Keller wouldn't have hit him, he had to come down with it.
But Black is averaging well over 200 yards a game passing, so you can't assume that this is going to continue. The Mustangs are going to have to do something. Silver Creek calls their 2nd timeout. Again, with Fort Morgan leading by a score of 7-0. Their touchdown came in the opening quarter. Proud to be Northeast Colorado's locally owned hometown savings and loan is Equitable Savings and Loan. Locations in Fort Morgan, Sterling, and Brush. Available 24/7 for your banking needs. That is Equitable Savings and Loan. So the situation will read 3rd down and 4 for Silver Creek at their own 30. 3:57 to go in the second quarter. The Mustangs hope to get the ball back before halftime. Keep in mind, Fort Morgan did receive the kickoff to start this game. And let's face it, as we've said before, this game is a season changer.
Yep.
Probably for both teams, but definitely for Fort Morgan.
Yeah, Fort Morgan's, I think they were sitting 20 in the RPIs, and if they lose another game, they're almost going to have to win league to make the playoffs.
3rd down and 4 out of the timeout from their own 30. The quarterback, Black, 2-step drop, throws tipped, and it's nearly intercepted. Boy, it was tipped, I believe, by Miranda. It'll be 4th down, and Trey McBride, who seems to have a magnet for the football, was right around it, but I don't know if he actually saw the ball.
Yeah, I don't think so either. There was a couple of defensive linemen right there, but that's why they're defensive linemen instead of receivers. So it looked like they might have been able to come up with it, but when it's tipped like that, that ball is going every which way. So
Moya and Garcia are back deep to receive, and this is the type of game that Fort Morgan can win. I didn't think they could win a shootout against this team.
No.
But it's not even close to that at this point. Silver Creek to punt.
Running on a man.
Yeah, they needed the 11th out there. 2 Mustangs at their own 35-yard line. And that is an extremely high punt. Let's see if they let it bounce again. Mustangs got to watch out. It takes a huge Silver Creek roll inside the 30 down to the 29. That punt goes for 41 yards. So the Mustangs are backed up a little bit, but they do lead the game 7-0 with 3:42 remaining before the break. And let's see if Linker goes to the air. He's completed 5 in a row for a total of 54 yards. But the only way you're going to score at this point is by not committing a penalty.
Right.
I mean, they've had chances where it looked like they were going to pick up a 1st down, and they could not. And now the Mustangs call that timeout. Brought to you by Ehrlich Toyota East in Fort Morgan, a 2-time Fort Morgan Chamber of Commerce Business of the Year. That is Ehrlich Toyota East. You can check us out on Twitter, by the way, at B106 and our B106 Facebook page. Throughout the course of the 2017-2018 Colorado High School sports season, but all the scoring updates, links to our video clips, and much more, again, on Twitter and on Facebook. And the Mustangs will have it at their own 29-yard line with Garver flanked out to the right. But now with both teams down to 1 timeout, that could affect how aggressive Fort Morgan is here.
Yep.
Because they can afford to at least chew some time off the clock. McBride is the deep setback. Now he will reset in that left slot. Hokanedel, the lone setback. Back to throw is Linker, setting up, throwing over the middle. Wide open McBride at the 35. Breaks it of a tackle, then he's down at the 37. And he's tackled by Spencer Rich, but it's a gain of 8. And that's 6 completions in a row for Isaac Linker. And he found the big man McBride, who's got 2 catches for 17 yards.
Yeah, he started from that left slot position and went angled across the middle there, and they found him open.
Let's not discount Jose Jimenez. He could attempt a field goal on this drive. 2nd down and 2 for the Mustangs at their own 37-yard line. Backs in an eye, handoff McBride, tries to break it up, a tackle, flag is down. He's got a 1st down, but that could be coming back, and I believe it's going to be holding against Fort Morgan. It was thrown along the right side, and that indeed is the penalty. And again, that's what I just talked about 2 minutes ago.
Yep.
The only way they're going to score, and that's easy to say because of the precedent that has been set in this game. But right now, the precedent is becoming a pattern. Kevin, this takes me back to a conversation that we had earlier in this season against Brush when you were talking about the unnecessary penalties Fort Morgan has committed, and now, unfortunately, it's coming back full circle at this point.
Absolutely. This is about the sloppiest they've played since that Brush game. And lucky for them, so far Silver Creek's played a little sloppier.
That's true. Yeah, that's a very good point. It'll be 2nd down and 11 for Fort Morgan at their own 28-yard line. Linker is going to roll to his left. Pressure coming backside. He throws along the sideline. That's incomplete. Garcia had a step on the defender, but it was underthrown, and rightly so. Linker has got a rifle for an arm, but he's getting pressured, throwing against his body, running to his left, and it was hard for him to get it out there. It'll be 3rd down, and now unless Fort Morgan picks up a 1st down, Silver Creek will have another possession.
Yeah, penalties are killing them. If either one of these teams would clean up their game, it'd be a runaway.
You're right. There's no doubt about it. That snaps a string of 6 consecutive completions thrown by Linker on 3rd down and 11 from their own 27. Linker from the pistol, 2-step drop, throws out to his left, wide open is Garver at the 32, breaks out of a tackle to the inside at the 40-yard line. Grayson Garver with a 1st down at the 46. Boy, what a move by Garver. That's a gain of 19 and a Mustang 1st down, and Garver's had a game so far, a touchdown catch. He had an interception that was nullified by penalty, not his own, and now, he could have been held short easily of a 1st down, but Grayson with a couple of outstanding moves.
Yeah, he pulled out of that tackle, kind of a spin move, spun out of that tackle, and then got a few more yards there running towards the middle.
1st and 10 for the Mustangs. Again, they only have 1 timeout. They're at their own 45.5-yard line, just past the 45. Linker will hand it off right side to Hamer, cuts it back to the inside, and he's trying to drive and lunge to the 49. They're going to hold him up a little bit short. It's a gain of 2. Now, how aggressive is Fort Morgan going to be? Because that clock is running, and it's got 1:52 to go. I think at the very least they just don't want Silver Creek to have the football. But if you gain about 30 more yards, Jimenez can certainly attempt a field goal, maybe even less than 30 because he's got a monster leg. 2nd down and 8 for the Mustangs at their own 48-yard line, leading 7-0. Backs in an eye. Receiver split left and right. Linker is going to roll to his left, set up along the left side. The pass is complete, and out of bounds is Trey McBride, and that's going to be a 1st down for Fort Morgan. Let's see if they give him the 40-yard line, and if they do, I haven't spotted the football, but it looks like it's the 40. It's a gain of 12, and McBride now with 3 catches for 29 yards, and Linker is approaching the 100-yard mark passing in the opening half.
They were saying he came down in bounds. I thought he got pushed out of bounds.
No, well, they got to look up at the clock. You're right. It's that clock is running. And now, now the officials are going to discuss this. He clearly went out of bounds. Yeah. They should add at least 10 seconds to the clock. It says 1:15. You got to go at least 1:25.
Yeah, I think they're getting that straightened out.
And hopefully that field mic works.
Yeah, because he was clearly out of bounds. Then he wound the clock. That's kind of... They're trying to get his attention.
1:21.
6 seconds.
There was more than that. I can tell you that right now. 1:21.
There we go.
So it should be on the clock. All right, and the clock is stopped. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs at the 40-yard line of Silver Creek, leading 7-0 late here in the opening half. Isaac Linker is under center with the clock stopped. On first down, the Mustang quarterback is back to throw a deep drop and throws to his left. The pass is incomplete. A diving attempt along the sideline to Garcia, but the ball was not that close to him.
No, Linker was mad at himself because Garcia was open. He just threw it too short.
93 yards passing for Linker. He's 8 out of 13. Done a very nice job here in the opening half for Fort Morgan. Second down and 10 for the Mustangs at the Silver Creek 40-yard line. J.P. Hamer is the deep back. Backs in an eye. This time he's under center. Linker again back to throw a 5-6-step drop, pressure coming, tries to run out of it, and he does run out of it to the 37-yard line, down at the 36 maybe. Let's see the Mustangs keep the clock rolling. I don't know how Linker did that because he was going to be sacked at about the 44, 45-yard line. Instead, he picks up 4 yards, and the reason he was able to do that is because he is so strong that he just keeps driving, but the clock is running with 49 seconds to go here in the second quarter. And I think Fort Morgan's going to milk it as much as they want, as much as they can, and then take a timeout if they pick up a first down.
Right. And if they don't pick up the first down, Raptors will probably call one.
Third down and 6 to go from the 36. Linker under center is back to throw deep in the pocket. Will heave it deep up the left side. Garcia is going to make the catch, and I think he was interfered with inside the 5 to about the 4. What a play. Linker to Garcia for a gain of about 32. Let's see what the flag is about, but I think it was defensive pass interference.
We have one at the 40 also, so that may be holding. We'll see what offsetting penalties.
Oh, boy. That's the story of this first half. Let's see. We have a hold against Fort Morgan. And then pass interference.
Dang.
Okay. That's the fan and Brian. But I know, is this not frustrating or what?
Oh.
I'm sure Silver Creek is as frustrated because you're seeing some major potential here.
Yeah.
And Brian used the perfect word, Kevin. If either one of these teams cleaned up their mistakes, it could be a runaway because that's how much of a margin it is, how much of a difference it is with the penalties.
Absolutely. And if you ask the Silver Creek coaching staff and faithful, they'll say they killed themselves on the 2 losses they had.
Back to throw his Linker. Slant is going to be caught. That's a first down inside the 25 to about the 23. That's McBride, and it's a gain of 13 yards for the senior on the pass from Linker, who's over 100 yards passing.
Fort Morgan uses their last timeout.
And they use the timeout brought to you by Ehrlich Toyota East with 7.7 seconds to go. I'd say go for the field goal, be about a 41-yarder. I mean, Jimenez got a strong leg. He's already kicked a field goal this year.
Let's just hope they do a really good job of blocking and
well, that's right, yeah. I mean, if you get that thing blocked and it's returned, that would be extremely unfortunate. This will be either 40 or 41 yards, depending upon where Linker sets up that tee. 7 yards for the line of scrimmage would make it a 41-yarder. And I wonder if Silver Creek will call a timeout to maybe freeze the kicker, but I don't know how much that has an effect on a guy like Jimenez who's got a thunder foot. This would extend the lead to 10. The last time he was in this position was 4 weeks ago in Broomfield, and he kicked a field goal to end the first half to give Fort Morgan a 13-0 lead against Holy Family. I believe that was more like a 25-yarder.
Yep.
Or no, actually it was a 33-yarder because the penalty was at the 1 that drew it. So this is a little bit further out. It'll be a 40-yard field goal attempt here for Jose Jimenez off the hold of Isaac Linker. Awaiting the snap. The kick is up. That kick is deep enough, and it is no good. Did he miss that either? Obviously, either off to the left. Off to the left there for Jose Jimenez. We have 2.8 seconds to go. But you know what? That's worth trying. And he wasn't going to be perfect all season despite the limited number of attempts. And that's what you have to do.
Oh, yeah, you got to go for it. You got to try for it. And they only leave 2.8 seconds left for Silver Creek here in the first half. So
I mean, Jimenez doesn't look like he's down on himself. I think he got a good part of the ball, but that's a long field goal. And you know that those field goals seem to be longer and harder to kick when it gets colder, too.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it looks like they're just going to.
Yeah, Silver Creek will take a knee, and we'll go into the break with Fort Morgan holding a 7-0 lead on their home field. Let's take a break, and we'll come back with a halftime show after this. Fort Morgan 7, Silver Creek 0. This is Morgan County's B106 and B106.net. The bottom line is that Black is going to have more success here in the second half. Fort Morgan was so good defensively in the first half. Let's see if Silver Creek makes any adjustment. 1st and 10 from their own 36. 2 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. The pass out to the right is going to be picked off up the left side. Is Moya to the 20, to the 10, 5, touchdown! Donovan Moya about 40 yards on the interception return, and the Mustangs lead 13-0. Holy mahungus!
Yeah, he cut right in front of that kid. It was not a sharp pass out to that right flat out there, and he just stuck right in front of that, and he took it to the house. That was the score we're looking for to help the offense out.
Now the extra point to be attempted by Jimenez. We'll call it about a 41-yard interception return unofficially for Donovan Moya. Off the hold of Isaac Linker. Boy, is that huge to extend the lead. Awaiting the snap is Linker. It's there. The kick by Jimenez is up, and that one is good. We are 13 seconds into the second half. The score, Fort Morgan 14, Silver Creek 0. This is Morgan County's B106 and B106.net. All right, a 41-yard interception return. The Mustangs now lead by a score of 14-0. That was Donovan Moya. And wow, what a different feeling this game has taken, Brian, just off of that play alone.
Oh, yeah, that's the 7th interception this year for Black. Yeah, this place came alive on that.
There's a high, another short kick along the left side to the 20-yard line. That is Brandon Harper running to his right. He's got a seam to the outside. Breaks out of a tackle to 35. Tolson gives chase, still on his feet, and he's driven out of bounds along the sideline at about the 50-yard line. That's a return of close to 30 yards, and that's the best special teams play so far, really, by either side.
Just inside Mustang territory.
On the other side of the 50. Boy, what a big play that was by Moya. Right up the left sideline. He jumped the route beautifully. 1st and 10 for Silver Creek. Out of the pistol with one setback. Black with trips to the left. Awaiting the snap. Little 5-step drop. Sets up over the middle. Now throws deep up the right side. That pass is going to be caught. It's caught along the sideline as he took off towards the middle and then found the seam at the 15-yard line. It's a gain of 35. And that was T.J. Blazin on the reception. Already more receiving yards and more passing yards on just that one play as Blazin pulls it in for his 3rd catch of the game. It's at the 15.
Had good coverage down there, but it was a well-placed pass.
Right up that right sideline, 1st and 10. Yeah, I thought he was going to run with the football, but then all of a sudden he stepped up in the pocket. There was a small seam in there for Black. 1st and 10 for the 15. Already in the red zone is Silver Creek. Rolling to his right is Colin Black along the sideline. He'll throw it out of bounds.
Nice job over there. Hoeknadel runs him out of bounds, but he was getting pressured from the far side also by Dylan McBride.
Well, that's what the Mustangs have got to do now defensively. They don't want to relinquish this lead that quickly, or at least a 2-touchdown lead. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Silver Creek at the Fort Morgan 15. Trips to the left. Black to throw. No pressure. Now pressure coming backside. Rolls out to his left, looking to get rid of the football. Throws it towards the corner of the end zone. Touchdown. Touchdown in the corner of the end zone from 15 yards away, and wide open for the touchdown to make it a 14-6 game was Spencer Rich, a junior, and there was nobody around him for Fort Morgan.
No, they must have been pulling up, and then they saw him running around this side over here and came up. They didn't keep their position where they should have to prevent that touchdown.
Now the extra point to be attempted by Graybow. Wow, I didn't expect this to happen this early here in the second half with all this scoring this quickly. The Mustangs scored 13 seconds into the quarter, but Silver Creek has come right back, and that was an excellent throw on the run by Colin Black. So we've had 2 touchdowns in 1 minute and 4 seconds. Graybow to attempt the extra point. It's down. The kick is up. And that's good inside the left upright. 10:56 to go, third quarter. The score, Fort Morgan 14, Silver Creek 7 on Morgan County's B106 and B106.net. Well, Spencer Rich bought plenty of time, was able to find, or Colin Black bought the time, was able to find Spencer Rich from 15 yards out. And the Mustang lead just like that, cut in half. 14-7, Fort Morgan. And now you got to establish something offensively. It's almost like it's still a 7-0 halftime lead.
Yep.
Because they turned around so quickly. Graybow with a high kick, and that was going to find the end zone. The Mustangs will start off from their own 20-yard line. Man, it is Friday the 13th. I mean, I'm telling you, that is just crazy. You figure Fort Morgan's got that momentum. Silver Creek had trouble moving the football in the opening half. And just like that, they get a 35-yard pass from Black to Blazin. And that sets up the 15-yard touchdown pass to Spencer Rich. 1st and 10, Fort Morgan. With a football at their own 20. Handoff right side as McBride stiff-arming a defender. Breaks out of a tackle along the sideline. Is out of bounds close to the 25-yard line. Let's see how much they give him.
Yeah, a couple of stiff arms there got him 5 yards because he was hit at the line of scrimmage, but those long arms, he just defended them off. Got it just outside the 25.
It'll be 2nd down and 5 yards to go. As Kevin mentioned, a 5-yard gain for McBride. His 6th carry for 37 yards. McBride in the right slot. Hokenedel the lone setback. Hokenedel's not carried the football tonight. Linker's back to throw. Pressure coming backside along the right side. Then throws in a run incomplete. He was hassled and thrown down, but he did throw it away at around the 30-yard line. Garver was the intended receiver. 3rd down and 5 for Fort Morgan.
Yeah, not a lot of time there. He was getting pressured. They did get a nice block from the backside, but somebody came in right in front of him and put him down just after he threw the pass.
3rd down and 5 to go from their own 25-yard line. Everybody bunched in tight. Full house backfield for Fort Morgan. 10:06 to go, third quarter. Mustangs lead 14-7. Handoff. McBride, left side, tries to spin his way towards the 30, but he's going to be held a little bit short. This is a very interesting decision here, Brian, because the Mustangs have a 4th down and less than a yard to go after a gain of 4. I mean, and they are a smash mouth team. No reason to think you can't pick this up. And I think even though this is very unconventional to go for it here at the 29-yard line, I think that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, it's going to be, we'll see what.
Well, they're going to go for it. Linker. Oh boy. And Harrison Chisholm is not happy. False start against Fort Morgan. Now they're going to have to punt. That would have been a 1st down as Linker took the snap, but
penalties kill him.
And I'm sure this was addressed at halftime. I'm sure this was addressed.
Yep, there just killed him because they could have continued that drive. Now they'll have to give the ball up to the Raptors.
It's 4th down and a long 5 from their own 25, so Garcia to punt. Blazin back deep to receive. Perfect snap, no pressure, and he gets it off a low line drive. Blazin will field it at the 43. It's a fair catch. But Silver Creek has very good field position. Down by only 7. And again, we have not even played 3 minutes here in the third quarter. We had one touchdown in the first half, a 15-yard pass from Linker to Garver, then a 41-yard interception return from Moya to begin the second half on the first play from scrimmage for Silver Creek in the second half, and then immediately they answered. And they answered because of special teams. You had a 30-yard kickoff return, a 35-yard pass at 3 plays, and then the 15-yard touchdown. And now they're in business at their own 43-yard line. 2 receivers split left and right. Out of the pistol, Black, 3-step drop, lobs it up the right side, wide open, complete to Spencer Rich. First down across the 40 to about the 35-yard line. And it's a gain of 22. And just like that, Silver Creek is getting into a rhythm.
Yeah, finding him out there one-on-one, and he was about 4 or 5 yards clear.
From the 35. Again, back to throw. Pressure coming backside, and he throws it away as McBride brought him to the ground. I don't know if there was a receiver out there. I think the Mustangs might want intentional grounding. Was there a receiver out there? I mean, he tried to get rid of the ball, but it's just going to be ruled an incomplete pass, so that's a smart play by Colin Black.
Yeah, somebody lit a fire there under Trey McBride. He came in from that right defensive end, and he ran him down. I think he and maybe Dylan was over there with him.
Trips to the left, 2nd and 10 from the Mustang 35, and 3 Mustangs jumped. Wow. I mean, this is insane. I mean, this is the third quarter already. We saw some of this in the. I know the Mustangs are aggressive. They got a lot of talent there, but you know, I'm sure they're frustrated by their own mistakes. But now a very good offensive team has got it 2nd and 5 instead of 2nd and 10 from the Mustang 30-yard line, looking for the equalizer with trips to the left. 1 setback. There's the give off the left side, and nothing, maybe a yard now for Knechtel. Boy, that Mustang run defense has been very good tonight. Dylan McBride was in on the hit along with Miranda. And Knechtel's been held in check big time. All he's got is 20 yards on 8 carries. Let's see, actually he's got less than that. I got to recalculate. 3rd down and 4 for the 29 after the gain of 1. And now it was the left guard, or left tackle, I should say, that moved for Silver Creek. So they make a rare mistake there.
Shooting each other in the foot here.
Yep, and that was Matt Zielber, a senior, who moved prematurely into pass blocking formation there. It'll be 3rd down and 9. Let's see the Mustangs come up with a play from the 34, Fort Morgan. Out of the pistol, back to throw, looking, lobbing up the left sideline. That's going to be incomplete. Boy, that was well defended. Was that Garcia out there? I mean, extremely well defended. Luis Garcia was blanketing the receiver out there.
Garcia, along with Monroe, were there. So it'll bring up a 4th down.
4th and 9, and that receiver was Ashton Hubert, a 5'7", 130-pound senior. 4th and 9. The Mustangs have been so good defensively in this game. They weren't really, even on the touchdown drive, it was just 2 plays. You know, one thing is to get dominated 8 or 9 plays, but 2 plays, that could happen to even the best of teams. This is a money play now for Fort Morgan on defense. 3rd, make it 4th and 9 for the 34. I think the Mustangs are coming on a blitz, and now we get a flag down. Is that offsides or a false start? I think it's a false start. Yes. You know what? Trey McBride and others provided some intimidation there.
Yeah, he was coming through there, but they'd already blown the ball dead. But
you know what? Credit Fort Morgan. They made some mistakes here that we've been talking about. Seems frustrating at times, but now they're turning that over. They're flipping that over on its other side, so to speak. And now Silver Creek has made some mistakes, which the Mustangs have something to do with. At least that last one they do. So Fort Morgan rectifying some of their miscues and now putting Silver Creek in a very difficult situation. 4th down and 14 from the 39-yard line. 14-7 Fort Morgan. 7:47 to go in the 3rd. From the pistol, Black is back to throw. Pressure coming over the middle. The pass is complete, wide open. 1st down for Rodriguez across the 25 to the 21. I mean, he had a seam there, and it was no big deal for him. It's a pickup of about 14 and a first down. 14, 15 yards there. I might be a little bit off on the yardage, but nonetheless, at the 20-yard line. First and 10. Check that, the 16. Okay, so the gain was 19. I had it wrong there. Gain of 19. First and 10. Throw out to the left. It's a short pass. I think it was caught at the 13-yard line. A gain of 3, and that was caught by Bagret. So he had 19 on the previous pass there to Rodriguez. And all of a sudden, they're accumulating some numbers.
Yeah, they're getting open a little bit here.
Well, 94 yards passing in the third quarter alone, and we're not even halfway to the quarter, to the end of the quarter. Second down and 7, back to throw. Black lobs it up in the right corner of the end zone. It's caught for a touchdown, but there is a flag down. I think that's Spencer Rich again. I think Rich has it, but we do have a flag down.
Tripping.
Yep, tripping against Silver Creek. I think that's a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, I believe so.
So we've had 2 touchdowns nullified for Silver Creek. In the first quarter, there was an offensive pass interference by Blazin, and that one was a perfect throw by Black in the right corner of the end zone. But this one is coming back.
Yeah, he has a nice pass. He just lobbed that over into the corner and got it to his guy, but it's all for naught.
It is a personal foul tripping, so this is coming way back. It'll be at the 27-yard line. So we're looking at 2nd and 21 now. 2nd and 21 officially for Silver Creek. And the penalties continue here in the third quarter. Hasn't gotten much better.
3 for the Raptors, 2 for Fort Morgan.
Trips to the right on 2nd and 21 for the Mustang 27. Black throws a bubble screen out to the right. The pass is caught by Rich, but he's taken down by Luis Garcia for a loss to the 32-yard line, a loss of 5, and that was read beautifully by Luis Garcia, the senior.
Yeah, he was right out there. He got rid of the ball pretty quick, but Garcia was right there on him. He didn't have anybody blocking him. That's a loss back to 33.
Well, if they pick this up, Brian, this would be insane, because now it is 3rd down and 26 to go. They've got to get to the 6-yard line. They're at the 32, just inside the 33. And they'll probably try to pick this up in a smaller chunk. Trips to the right. 5 yards behind center. Rolling to his right is Black. Buying time, throwing along the sideline. Passes complete underneath, but the Mustangs right there to make the tackle. Still a fairly sizable pickup to the 18. I think that's Blazin. Yep, it is Blazin. Let's see where the spot is. Well, they're going to backtrack it to the 20. So it's a gain of 12. Well, now you got to make a play if you're Fort Morgan.
Yep.
4th down and 14 to go.
Yeah, this is the play of the second half here so far.
5:23 to go, third quarter. Mustangs lead 14-7. 4th down and 14 with trips to the left at the Mustang 20-yard line. Black awaits a snap. Black has the football, back to throw, pressure coming, rolls out to his left, throws it deep up the left side. It's incomplete. Off the hands of the intended receiver in the end zone. That could have been a game-tying touchdown off the hands of Bagret to the Mustangs. Take over on downs, but that pass was thrown very well there by Colin Black.
Yeah, that should have been caught. That was a touchdown that they gave up. That was he was being pressured there by the Mustangs, but he rolled out to his left, found the guy, but Bagret did not hang on.
Yeah, closer to the middle of the field there. I had miscalculated where that throw was going, and I didn't realize it was that open. He was defended, but the throw was right there. Now the Mustangs have got to do something here and take some time off the clock. 1st and 10 at their own 20. There's the handoff to the up man, and there's a big gain across the 25 to the 26. But this one's coming back more than likely because of holding. That's the first carry for Hokenedel. Yeah, that's got to be against Fort Morgan. I don't see how that's thrown against Silver Creek.
Unless it's a face mask.
Yeah, you're right. It could be.
Personal foul.
Oh, there you go. Boy, but we never saw the face mask, but you're right. But
it was
the way it was thrown, it was almost thrown towards an offensive lineman,
right.
But I think it was thrown towards the fullback Hokenedel, who had the ball. So a nice job there. John just maintaining his momentum, and he was able to carry it for 6 yards and then tack on the 15. So the Mustangs catch a break there. I cannot believe the number of penalties in this game. This is just...
Yeah, wasn't keeping track in the first half. I should have, but so far 4 on the Raptors, 2 on Fort Morgan.
Well, you need 2 calculators. That's the whole thing. You need, or too many calculators. 1st and 10 at their own 41. The Mustangs now get some breathing room. Baxton and I, handoff right side for a gain of about 1, maybe 2. That's Jacob Ortega off right guard before he was taken down. They'll give him just a yard on the play. And the tackle was made by Trevor Riders, the 6'3", 195-pound senior linebacker. It'll be 2nd down and 9 for Fort Morgan.
We've got a guy down for the Raptors there on the middle of the field there.
And that's a big man. That is Emilio Rodriguez, a 6'1", 241-pound junior who is on the turf for Silver Creek. I wonder if he's cramping. He might be cramping with 4:18 to go in the third, although later in the year when the weather's cooler, we don't see as much cramping as you do in early to mid-September. Mr. D's Ace Farm and Home Center is your headquarters for all your home, farm, and ranch supplies, from plumbing to feed, with 3 locations to serve you: Sterling Brush and Fort Morgan. And Western Engineering Consultants provides civil engineering. No, that's not a cramp. For aviation, municipal, commercial, and residential clients in Colorado, Western Engineering is invested and involved in the communities they work in, and they want to wish good luck to all the athletes as they compete this year. Western Engineering Consultants.
Yeah, it looked like they were working on his knee before they laid him down.
Second down and 9. The Mustangs had the ball at their own 42-yard line. Again, 4:18 to go, third quarter. Mustangs lead Silver Creek 14-7. Give to the up man, and a big hole for Hokanetto, and he bowls his way to midfield for a gain of about 8. It'll be a 3rd down and 1, and now they're taking advantage of the senior fullback who did not have a carry until moments ago. Now that's his 2nd.
Yeah, he's got some fresh legs. He has been out there, but just not being pounded on. So they're giving Silver Creek some new legs out there to try to bring down.
Yeah, he's been delivering punishment via the block. 3rd down and 1 to go for Fort Morgan. Handoff Hokanetto. That's a 1st down. He didn't need much, but he's still going, but I think they blew the whistle.
Oh, that was an early whistle.
Yeah, well, I thought they thought he was down, but yeah, the Mustang offense is wondering why. He picked up 2 yards, but yeah, they blew an early whistle, and that's unfortunate because there was only one guy with his arms around Hokanetto, and he had him pretty high, yeah. Brian. He wasn't going to bring him down anytime soon.
No, you're not going to bring Hokanetto down around the shoulders.
1st and 10 for the Mustangs at the Silver Creek 48. Now the offense is slowed down a little bit here in this third quarter, but the Mustangs are starting to regain some momentum. They have not scored an offensive touchdown since the first. Linker's going to hand it off to Ortega off the left side, and then he's driven back after a gain of about 2. It looked like he had a seam there, but all of a sudden he was in the grasp of Rex Olinger, a junior. 2nd down and 8 to go. Ortega with 4 carries for 9 yards.
Yeah, it closed up pretty quick there. I thought he was going to, like you said, I thought he was going to have more there, but looks like Trey's got a little limp. Going to bring him out and send in Garber.
Well, that changes things here. That should be is that an official's timeout? Or
yeah.
Yep. All right, 2nd down and 8 to go for Fort Morgan at the 46-yard line. Do they stay with a run? Hokanetto and Ortega in the backfield. Receiver split left and right. Handoff, Ortega right side. Right, and he's got some room across the 45 to the 41. He was looking to cut it back towards the middle, but he found a small opening there and was able to pick up 5 yards. All of a sudden, you've got a 3rd down and a short 3 to go. Nice run there by Jacob.
Yeah, it looks like he's cramping. I think their trainer's working on his calf, it looks like, on his right calf.
3rd down and 3 for the Mustangs at the 41-yard line of Silver Creek. This is 4-down territory, undoubtedly, unless the Mustangs take a huge loss on this particular play.
And so far, penalty-free. I shouldn't have said that, but on this drive.
Well, but if you do a quick run here. That should avoid or prevent any penalties. 3rd and 3 from the 41, coming on a blitz.
Oh.
And that is Brian Nichols' fault. There was movement along the right side of the Mustang offensive line. It's a false start.
Yep.
And now a 3rd down and 8.
Don't tell Coach Chisholm, he'll be on me.
Well, these games are recorded and uploaded forever. So on our KSIR B106 channel, it's also on Twitter. It's also on Facebook. So Brian Nichols is to blame. We'll talk to Kevin Rohde momentarily, and we'll see if he assigns equal blame to Brian like I have right now for mentioning that. 3rd down and 8 for the Mustangs at the 46-yard line. Linker's going to hand it off right up the gut, but that's doing nothing there. Looks like Hokenettl's being driven back. A gain of a yard, and that's about it. There were so many Silver Creek Raptors in there. He had no shot. It'll be 4th down and 7 to go. Kevin, do you assign equal blame for Brian mentioning that the Mustangs were penalty-free there on that drive until the false start, or should we give him a pass here?
I think he's totally to blame for that. I'll tell you what, you think of all the penalties that have been called, there are a lot more that the coaches are yelling at the officials because they're missing the calls.
I can imagine, but, I mean, they are unloading the laundry tonight. And high snap, Garcia's got to get it off, and he does off the side of his foot, though. That's a very short punt, and that's going to go out of bounds at about the 33 or 34-yard line. Wow, that's only an 11-yard punt for Garcia, but it was off a high snap. And now the Mustangs have got to play some solid defense here with a minute to check that 36.3 seconds to go in the 3rd. And Fort Morgan leading Silver Creek in Fort Morgan by a score of 14-7. So now it's getting a little bit dicey here. The Mustang defense is going to be called upon to essentially win the game. On 1st and 10, Silver Creek at their own 34. Again from the pistol, 2 receivers split each side. Back to throw. Black 2 is left wide open. It's caught at the 37-yard line by Bagret, who dropped the touchdown pass. He's down at the 40, a gain of 6. Andrew Monroe is able to make the tackle. 21st pass attempt here by Black. And I would assume they're going to run at least another play on 2nd down and 4. At the 40, we're down to 5 seconds to go. Nope, I think the quarter's going to expire. And we'll take the break with them with a score. We played 3 quarters. Fort Morgan 14, Silver Creek 7 on Morgan County's B106 and B106.net. Let's begin the 4th quarter. Silver Creek with a football, and there's going to be a pitch right. Knechtel to the outside is going to get a 1st down along the sideline, but there's a flag down, and he's loose in the secondary at the 30. Along the sideline, Keller giving chase, and he's down at about the 5-yard line, but this one should be coming back. It was a 2nd down and 4 for Silver Creek at their own 40-yard line. That would nullify a 55-yard run for Knechtel on the opening play of the 4th quarter. And the first play of the 3rd and the first play of the 4th appear to have been nightmares here for Silver Creek.
Yeah, that must have been a pretty obvious. They got 2 flags there, and that's probably what broke him loose around this right end.
Let's see. I haven't seen the preliminary indication, but they're walking backwards. Yep, holding against Silver Creek. Wow. I mean, Brian, I think we have 200 yards in penalties.
Yeah. Oh, easy.
I mean,
it's crazy.
This is, I've never seen anything like this. All right, so the clock is going to roll here even after the penalty. It'll be 2nd down and 15 for Silver Creek at their own 30-yard line. Mustangs lead 14-7. 15-yard touchdown pass in the 1st quarter from Isaac Linker to Grayson Garver. On the first play of the 2nd half from scrimmage, unofficially a 41-yard interception returned by Donovan Moya. And then Silver Creek countered 15-yard touchdown pass from Colin Black to Spencer Rich. And here's going to be the draw play right up the gut, and that's Harper. They cannot break out of the tackle after a short gain. And that was Jimmy Keller who grabbed him by the right ankle and brought him down at the 33. It's a short 3 there for Brandon Harper. And Keller read that beautifully. 3rd down. Oh, they got to get to the 44, so let's say 3rd and 11 to go for Silver Creek. Not 4 down territory unless they're close to a first down following this play. Can the Mustang defense come up with another big play? They've been so good tonight in Fort Morgan. Out of the pistol, trips to the left, and Colin Black is back to throw. Plenty of protection deep up the right side, and it's tipped incomplete. Broken up beautifully by Donovan Moya, intended for T.J. Blazin, and he turned around at the perfect time, and there was no shot to make that catch for Blazin.
No, he was right there. He was right in front of him. Actually, I think Blazin became the defender in that instance to knock the ball away from Moya. So nice job there by the Mustangs on that third down play.
It's amazing that Black threw for 21 yards in the opening half. And in this half has thrown for 107. 12 out of 22 for 128 yards in a game. And Rich to punt. Perfect snap, and he gets it off high and very short along the right sideline. This is going to go well out of bounds, and that punt was as short as Garcia's, if not worse, and Rich is down on the ground, but nobody made contact with him.
I think he's down because he's mad at himself.
And that punt, I think it went for the same distance as Garcia's. Garcia's went 11 yards. Brian, this goes 10 yards as Fort Morgan has it in Silver Creek territory at the 45.
Yeah, this is when they have to.
And they were both punting in the same direction. You wonder if the wind. Well, we'll check in with Kevin here momentarily, because I wonder if wind is playing a factor at all or something, because those. Kevin, have you seen anything from a wind factor? Because we've had two pretty short punts here, not even 12 yards.
Absolutely, the wind is kicking up, and I don't know why Silver Creek didn't try and get that last play of the quarter in.
And here's a handoff right up the middle. Hokenettle carrying defenders to the 35-yard line. That's a good point, Kevin, a very good point, because it certainly affected them. And John Hokenettle with a first down, and I'd say, 5 or 6 of those yards were on his own.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he drug those Raptors, at least 5 or 6 yards there. He is a strong young man. This is what they need. They need to drive this down, put it in the end zone, get this a 2-touchdown lead again.
He's got 5 carries in the game for 27 yards unofficially. Inside the 35, handoff right side. Ortega breaks out of a tackle, still on his feet, and then he spins to the 30. He was contacted at the 33, but he spun his way for an extra 2 yards before the tackle was made over there by Trevor Riders. Ortega's not had a huge run tonight, but has had a couple of impressive runs. 2nd down and 5 for Fort Morgan at the 30-yard line. Fort Morgan 14, Silver Creek 7. We've got 9.5 to go in the game for Fort Morgan. A critical game. It's essentially a regular season playoff game for the Mustangs. There's the handoff to the first man through. That is John Hokenettle, close to a first down. The fullback just shy of the 30. Let's give him 4 yards for the senior.
Yeah, just short, but he drug defenders once again.
3rd down and 1 to go for the Mustangs.
Trey's back out there at receiver on the right side.
At the 31, Linker, quarterback keeper, and he dives for a first down off right guard. Looks like he got it easily. When I say easily, I don't know if it's 2 yards, but at least a yard. Yep, to the 30, just on the other side of the 30 for Isaac Linker. Boy, 1 score is huge, but we know that Silver Creek is explosive. They showed it after Fort Morgan scored on the defensive touchdown by Donovan Moya.
Somebody's down for the Mustangs.
Oh, boy. I think that's a cramp.
Yep.
And that might be the new player, Chris Morales. A transfer from Texas. Yeah, that's Mirales. Limping off the field. Well, I don't know. Is that a cramp?
It looked like they were trying to stretch him out there when he was first on the ground.
Yeah, it could be a cramp. He's favoring his left leg. Man, he's got a strong lower body. But without him in there, now the Mustangs got to make sure that they compensate for that.
Sent a sophomore in, Brian Paxton, went in to take his place.
1st down and 10 for Fort Morgan. The football's at the 25. I might have given it 5 yards less earlier, but it's at the 25 of Silver Creek with a 14-7 lead here early in the 4th quarter. Let's see if Fort Morgan can capitalize anytime soon. And it doesn't have to be too soon. The more that runs off the clock with a lead, the better. Just inside the 25-yard line of Silver Creek. Linker is back to throw, looking deep over the middle. The pass is incomplete. Grayson Garver, the intended receiver, broken up by Blazin at the 2. Oh, man, that was close.
Yeah, Blazin was right on there. That was good defense there by Blazin. It was maybe either just a little later, could have let him out just a little further.
Linker in the second half is 0 out of 2 passing. That's it. He threw only 1 pass in the second half last week.
All right.
All right, let's see if Fort Morgan now goes to the ground game on 2nd down and 10 for the 25. Handoff Hokenettle right up the middle, and he carries defenders to about the 20-yard line. Might have got to the 19. Man, that kid is strong. It's a gain of 5, 3rd down and 5. And I like this change of personnel because John, as you mentioned, did not carry the football in the first half, and now he's got 7 carries here in the second half for 36 yards.
Yep.
We'll
get some fresh legs carrying that ball.
That's it. We'll be at the 8-minute mark when the ball is snapped. 3rd down and 5. Fort Morgan at the Silver Creek 20. Linker under center is going to pitch it left. Ortega cuts it back towards the inside, and he's short of a first down, but he gets to the 16. He started to swing it to the outside before being tackled. But that's very close. I like that play. That was the fake to the fullback and the pitch left. And that's 4-down territory easily. Oh, they're bringing in Jimenez.
Oh,
it's
really?
4th down and a yard. You got to get to the other side of the 15, but yeah, I would think that you go for it here.
Call timeout.
I mean, if it's 4th and 4, 4th and 5, you could see the field goal being kicked, but it's 4th and it's 1 yard there at the 16. They have to get on the other side of the 15, and they're just past the 16. The Mustang timeout brought to you by Ehrlich Toyota East. Whether you're in the market to purchase a new or pre-owned vehicle, stop by Ehrlich Toyota East in Fort Morgan, a 2-time Fort Morgan Chamber of Commerce Business of the Year. That's Ehrlich Toyota East. 7:41 to go in the game. Mustangs 14, the Raptors of Silver Creek 7. It's 4th down and a yard to go for Fort Morgan just inside the Silver Creek 16-yard line. And now they will go for it.
I think they got their heavy package in there that they were running that last week.
Well, I'm not sure if you can sneak this because you need a full yard.
You have a number 61 in there. I have no idea who
Right,
that is from
yeah.
Fort Morgan.
I believe that's Alex Ortega, is it not?
Okay.
I think we established that last week.
Okay.
Wearing the different number, yep. The deep back is Trey McBride. Full house backfield from the 16. Handoff, McBride, right side, first down, still on his feet at the 10. He tries to break out of a tackle, and he's taken down, but it's a 1st and goal for Fort Morgan down at the 6, and it's a gain of 10 for Trey McBride, and the Mustangs extend the drive.
He was just leaving Raptors in his wake when he was just stiff-arming them.
All right, 1st and goal at the 6. This could be a backbreaker for Silver Creek. Although you do have plenty of time, even if the Mustangs get into the end zone. On 1st down and goal from the 6, Isaac Linker is going to hand it off right side to McBride. Stiff arms the defender, still on his feet, dives for the pylon, and he's out of bounds, shy of the goal line, maybe at about the 2, in fact. They're going to mark it, looks like the 3. Gain of 3 for McBride as they backtrack that football. 2nd down and goal. Oh, man, it's actually back at the 4. Gain of 2. And you see one official from the side was at the 3 and then is spotted at the 4. And the clock stops because he went out of bounds with 7:06 to go. In the game, Mustangs up by 7. 2nd down and goal from the 4. Linker pitches it left to McBride, looking for a block, swinging it to the outside, and he's going to be tackled at the 5. He takes a loss of 1. Too many defenders out there for the Raptors, and McBride took a beating getting up slowly. And here's where you could set it for a field goal, Brian, if you do not get into the end zone, because this would essentially amount to a longer extra point, which Fort Morgan had anyway. when they had
Make it a two-possession game anyway.
Well, that's what you need. But then you got to, you know what, that ball's lined up on the left hash mark. You've got to run it to the right and towards the middle of the field because that'll change the angle altogether here. 3rd and goal from the 5-yard line. McBride, the deep setback. Handoff. McBride, right side. Goes for the pylon. Tries to break out of his tackle, and he's dragged down from behind.
I can't believe they didn't call that play.
Well, I mean, his right hand was up there, but apparently not inside of the jersey, and McBride is thrown for a loss. But they did run it to the right side, and at this point, you got to bring in Jimenez. The loss is back to the 6. It's a loss of 1. Now we're looking at a 23-yard field goal, but this is pretty much straight away for Jose Jimenez. Yep, you got to make this one. Off the hold of Isaac Linker. About a 23-yarder, maybe 22, right on that cusp. Awaiting the snap. It's down. The kick is up for Jimenez, and that one is good. Jose Jimenez nails it. We'll call it from 22 yards away, and the Mustangs lead 17-7. Let's take a break on Morgan County's B106 and B106.net. Jose Jimenez kicks a 22-yard field goal. With 5:23 to go in the game, the Mustangs have a 10-point lead at 17-7. Now Jimenez to kick it off. Now here's where the special teams has to come in. This is one of Silver Creek's strengths. And he boots this high and short. Fielded at the 31, dropped, picked up at the 35 by Rodriguez. He's got a seam along the left sideline with Ortega right there to drive him out of bounds, but good field position across the 45 to about the 47-yard line. Thank goodness for Ortega and another Mustang, because if not, that could have been a problem for Fort Morgan.
He's kicking them short, keep it out of the hands of Blazin, but they're, I guess if return to the 45 is better than a return for a touchdown. So
it ended up being a 22-yard field goal there for Jose Jimenez, and now Silver Creek is going to be in somewhat desperation mode from the 46. Out of the pistol, trips to the right, 1st and 10. Black is back to throw. Pressure coming, throws a screen out to the left side. Nobody was out there, and a flag is down. I wonder if that's going to be intentional grounding or no. They're pointing towards somebody being in the area.
Illegal man downfield.
Yep, ineligible man downfield. That's what it is. Yeah, you got to take that one every time and drive them back even further. So the kicking game very big tonight. Just off that field goal alone for Fort Morgan. And again, a 10-point lead, and the Mustangs are coming after Black on virtually every play now.
Got the crowd into it.
1st down and 15 from the 40. Black again to throw. To his right. The pass is complete to Blazin underneath at the 50. He breaks out of a tackle, and then he spins. He's down at the 46. It's a gain of 14. 2nd down and 1. They're going to be right back up to the line of scrimmage. The Mustangs make the play. Now the clock is moving. That's the good thing. Tackle him inbounds and let that clock move. On 2nd down and 1. Black this time. 3-step drop. Pressure coming up the middle. He's stacked back at the 43. Trey McBride, and then Isaac Linker right there as well. A 2nd and 1 now becomes a 3rd and 11. It's a loss of 10. Wow, what a huge play that was.
Yeah, McBride came in there. He was almost like he was untouched. And Black didn't fight it either. When McBride got him, he just went down. There wasn't any...
Right, there wasn't any resistance there at all.
No. And then Linker was right there with him, so...
And now, they're taking their time getting the play in. That's just helping Fort Morgan. The clock is ticking. 3rd and 11 from the 44, and now we got a delay of game unless Silver Creek just called a timeout prior to that delay of game with 3:50 to go. And Kevin, you got a sense now that the Mustangs are one or two plays away from winning this game tonight in Fort Morgan.
Absolutely. If they can make a defensive stand here and stop them on these next two plays, I think the game's going to be Fort Morgan's. And what a gutsy game it's been with all the penalties and all the back and forth, and Fort Morgan has not lost the faith.
They've kept it going. There's no question about it. And they are right there on the doorstep at this point. It'll be 3rd and 11 for Silver Creek. At their own 44, the Mustangs lead by 10. We have 3 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the game. 4 down territory for Silver Creek because of Fort Morgan's double-digit lead. How about a turnover right here?
That would work. Due for another interception.
Black is going to pitch it left to Harper, swinging it to the outside, cutting it back, and he's going to be taken down. It's a loss back to the 42. A couple of Mustangs out there. Maybe just a 1-yard loss. Really doesn't matter. It's going to be 4th and about 12 or 13, but Keller, Dylan McBride, and others were out there. And Harper had nothing to deal with space-wise. 4th down and 12 for Silver Creek.
This is the Mustang team that we've been looking for since early on. If they wouldn't have had the injuries,
oh yeah,
this is the defensive team.
It's a top team in the state.
Yeah.
3 minutes to go in the game. 4th and 12. Silver Creek at their own 43. And is that a delay of game?
Yep.
It is.
Yep.
Now it's 4th and 18.
How you do that? That's just poor clock management there.
Well, they're trying to find the perfect play. They need the perfect play. They've got to get to the Mustang 44. So it's 4th and 18. And now I think the Mustangs are going to call a timeout. I think this is very smart because allow anything underneath.
Right.
Okay, you don't need those timeouts on offense. You're up by 10.
Yeah, because Silver Creek will stop the call. If we get the ball back, Silver Creek will stop the ball for us,
right?
For them on offense, or while we have when we have the ball. So,
hey Kevin, you got a jacket that says Coach Rohde. So put your coach's hat on. What do you think they're discussing over there on the Mustang sideline on a 4th and 18 for Silver Creek?
Well, there's so many things to discuss. Probably one of the big plays that Silver Creek's thinking about is a draw, or not a draw, but a screen play. But so you got to have someone stay back and draw, but you also got to get pressure on him before he gets upfield and is able to throw it deep. So you're right. Keep them in front of you. Let's get pressure on them and let's go home.
You know why he says that? Because we're about 15 degrees warmer up here, and I can see Kevin making that point. Yeah, no doubt about it. All right, here we go. It is 4th and 18 for Silver Creek at their own 39. Awaiting the snap. Once again, it's Black. Back to throw. Pressure. Deep pressure coming up the middle. It's incomplete. He threw it away essentially at around the 47-yard line. So much pressure there with Miranda, with Keller, and with Dylan McBride. And there was it could have been called intentional grounding. It should have been called intentional grounding. Even had there been a receiver out there, it would have been well short of the 1st down. And now the Mustangs can essentially run out the clock.
I don't know if it was supposed to be set up like Kevin said as a screen pass. That's kind of what it was, but there wasn't anybody there.
And Black had a lot of success passing in that 3rd quarter, but stymied here in the 4th. And Silver Creek, I believe, has a couple of timeouts left. 2:52 to go in the game. All right, 1st and 10 for the Mustangs at the 39. Handoff to Hokanetto. Bounces off a defender and then is going to get nothing, just right back to the line of scrimmage for Hokanetto. 2nd down and 10 to go for the Mustangs, but at this point,
give him 1, I guess, huh?
Yeah, maybe half a yard there, not much. But Silver Creek can stop the clock, but they're not going to do it here. And just take all the time off the play clock as possible. Nice to know that the Mustangs are going to be playing for a playoff spot here down the stretch. But Thompson Valley will be the softest opponent.
Yep.
And then Northridge, a little bit tougher, and Longmont even tougher than that. Coming on a blitz handoff, Hokanado right up the gut, and he lunges to the 37 for a gain of 2. Timeout with 2 minutes to go by Silver Creek. They've got 1 remaining, according to what I have here.
I believe so.
All right. Time to tell you that for a college that will equip you to go anywhere, look no further than Northeastern. Go to njc.edu. And Buildings by Design has the experience to complete your project from start to finish. Get the quality you deserve in your building by starting your build project right. Start with Buildings by Design. So the Mustangs have a 3rd down and 8 at the 37-yard line of the Raptors, up 17-7. It was a 7-0 lead at halftime. Then we had 2 touchdowns in the first minute 4. I figured, okay, we're going to have a shootout.
Yep.
Donovan Moya with the interception return. And then, of course, you had the 15-yard touchdown pass from Black to Spencer Rich. Neither team scored in the remainder of the quarter. Then Fort Morgan with an impressive drive on a 22-yard field goal by Jose Jimenez. The exclamation was Brian's yes as the ball went in between the uprights. And now they got the ball back after a great defensive stand. 3rd down and 8 from the 37. Everybody bunched in tight. I'd love to see a bootleg here, but I don't know if they're going to do that. No, handoff right side McBride. He's chased down from behind. Nobody blocked Rodriguez, and he tackled McBride for a loss at the 38. The gain of 2. That's the final timeout taken by Silver Creek. Yeah, I mean, it was pretty obvious they were keying on him there.
Yep.
And McBride's last 4 carries have gone for a negative 4 yards. So as good as he is, you still got to block for him.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, now the Mustangs will punt.
Yeah, Rodriguez, he just came untouched. He just came across. And that would almost been. Of course, you don't want to be passing the ball and having an incomplete pass and stopping the clock. So, but they had everybody up within 7 yards of line of scrimmage. But you just break somebody through.
There's an odor around here. I'm still smelling a pick 6.
Yeah.
I'm still smelling it. You know that they're going to throw the ball and that the Mustangs are going to apply the pressure. And, I mean, we've already had a pick 6.
Right.
That doesn't mean it can't happen again. Okay, Luis Garcia to punt. Standing at his own 47. We have a minute 52 to go. The Mustangs lead the game 17-7 over Silver Creek. Nobody back for Silver Creek. They're going to go for the block here. And he's going to get it off beautifully towards the end zone. It bounces to the 5 and into the end zone. McBride tried to chase it down and down the ball, but Garcia did what he had to do, just kick the ball away without it getting blocked. There's already been a block punt tonight by Silver Creek, even though the Mustangs, off that partial block, still got about 35 yards in the punt. 1st and 10, Silver Creek at their own 20-yard line. They'll be passing on every play. They have no timeouts remaining. And they can't afford to just throw it around the middle of the field before the 1st down marker. They can certainly exceed that, and the clock would stop for the movement of the chains, but they can't be too conservative here because they're down by 2 scores. They'll line up with trips to the left, 1 receiver to the right. From the pistol, Black with 1 setback is back to throw, looking to his left, pumping, and then he'll throw along the sideline. It is picked off along the right side, and the Mustangs come up with the interception from Luis Garcia. A flag is down, and that's nothing new. A flag is down along the left side, but the Mustangs are reacting like that is against Silver Creek.
Personal.
Well, it's against Fort Morgan, but I wonder if that was following the interception.
Yeah.
Is the interception going to count? I don't know. It's a hold against Fort Morgan. No, I think that the interception is not going to stand.
Nope, yeah, it is.
It is? Okay,
Yep.
There you go.
So it was a hold.
Boy, but let me tell you, that was a really quick hold because it's not like Garcia intercepted a pass and had the football for more than a few seconds.
Yeah, somebody must have been.
Wow, but that's an awfully quick hold. That's an awfully quick hold. Now you got to start wondering, did they throw so many flags here in this game? Now the Mustangs are in victory formation off Luis Garcia's interception. So Linker will take a knee. And what a job they did in the fourth quarter against Colin Black. Of his last 6 passes, he completed just 2 for 20 yards. He had a stretch there in the middle where he was very effective. But the Mustangs have to snap it at least 2 more times. It's only second down right now from the 32-yard line of Silver Creek, and they will have pulled off this victory tonight in Fort Morgan.
Over the 6th-ranked team in the state.
And pretty high up on the RPI as well. And the Mustangs, with the exception of a small stretch there in the third quarter, really did control this game. I mean, they played, as you mentioned, Fort Morgan football on both sides of the ball, especially defensively. One more snap, and the Mustangs will walk away with a victory. And there it is. And the Fort Morgan Mustangs have won their second straight game, both in the Northern Conference, as they win tonight at home over the Silver Creek Raptors, 17-7. We'll take a break here on Morgan County's B106 and B106.net. John Beltran back with Brian Nickel and Kevin Rhoda here from Legion Field in Fort Morgan, where the Mustangs have won the game over the Silver Creek Raptors, 17-7. Mustang post-game show is brought to you by Morgan Community College. Find out why Morgan Community College is the best choice for your higher education. Visit MCC online at morgancc.edu or stop by the campus for a personal advising session. MCC, here to help you to imagine, believe, and achieve your goals. That's Morgan Community College. The Mustangs scored in the first quarter a 15-yard touchdown pass from Isaac Linker to Grayson Garver. And then the story of the game was penalties, gentlemen. I mean, and it lasted the entire game. There was rarely a break other than the Mustang drive in which they kicked a field goal here down the stretch when Jose Jimenez made a 22-yarder to seal the deal. Prior to that, there was the first play of the third quarter with a Donovan Moya 41-yard interception return, and then less than a minute later, a 15-yard touchdown pass from Colin Black of Silver Creek to Spencer Rich. But that was it. The Mustangs really, Kevin, I thought controlled the tempo tonight of this game, which is why it was not a high-scoring game.
Absolutely. They shut down Silver Creek's offense for the most part. They had the one nice drive there in the second half. But other than that, Fort Morgan just, put the pressure on the quarterback and tackled the running backs and played good fundamental defense. And then when they got the ball, they ran the clock. I think we would have been out of here about an hour earlier if there weren't those 25 penalties or however many there were.
Well, you know what? You say 25. I'm not sure that's
each team I'm talking about.
No, I mean there was so many. It was we couldn't even keep count. Brian, you were keeping count in the second half for a while, but even those numbers easy to get away. Let's compare the nickel package to what actually happened in this game, because I have to imagine that some of those came to fruition, which is why Fort Morgan won the game.
Right. The first one I had was special teams need to be special, and they were tonight. They kept the ball away from
TJ Blazin.
From Blazin on the kickoffs, and they also did a good job on the punts, corralling him when they did have to punt. Second one I had was control the ball with a run game, and they did that excellent tonight. I don't know what the final numbers were. You'll have that in a little bit, but they did a nice job running the ball tonight with a number of different backs. I had the third one as penalties. They kind of failed on that one, but
so did Silver Creek.
So did Silver Creek. They both killed themselves with penalties. The fourth one I had was they had to put pressure on Black, and they did get to him. McBride got to him in that second half there, got a sack on him, and they were also chasing him. He was having to run there for a little bit, and his passes were off downfield. And then the last one I had was Friday the 13th, and I think that came to fruition too. Just the number of penalties and just the different. Didn't have a safety tonight, but had about everything else.
Yeah. There's not, including a roughing the punter, which extended Fort Morgan's scoring drive, and that actually happened last week as well to both teams.
Right.
So it's kind of crazy here. But let's run through some of the individual numbers that we were talking about. We could control that running game. Andre Knechtel had 9 carries, making 8 carries for 10 yards. Brandon Harper had 3 for 8, and then Colin Black was sacked, so he had 2 for 4 yards. So essentially on the ground, they had 22 yards, and they did that over a span of 14 carries, so not even 2 yards a carry.
Right, and they average 113 yards a game.
Now, through the air, there was an interception thrown There were 2 thrown, actually 3, because Moya intercepted one for a touchdown. We had one from Luis Garcia, and then Grayson Garver had one, but that one unfortunately did not count. But you look at the 2 interceptions, and and I'm just doing this quick math right now, there were 12 incompletions and a couple of interceptions. So that's for Colin Black. He threw for 142 yards. So he was unofficially 12 out of 27 for 142 yards, and that was the majority of their offense. TJ Blazin tonight had 5 catches for 71 yards. So total offense, just over 160 yards there for this team from Longmont. Now, as for the Mustangs, Isaac Linker didn't throw the ball much in the second half. He threw for 106 yards in the game, I believe had 93 by halftime, and he was 9 out of 16 for 106 yards. But again, the difference, Fort Morgan they've lost a turnover battle in some of the games this season. Even last week against Centaurus, they committed a couple of turnovers on fumbles, and they still were able to win the game. But tonight, a different story. Trey McBride had 12 carries for 49 yards, but his first carry went for 21, and then his next 11 went for a total of 28. So he was bottled up quite a bit, but he was running hard. John Hokenettle, what a difference he made, Kevin, in that second half.
Absolutely. That's what you need. We talked about it at half, that if they could go to that spread offense and still get a little bit of running game going up the middle, and that's what Hokenottle provided, some tough, hard-nosed running, and then carrying 2 or 3 defenders with him down the field as he ran. I guess my thought on all of this, isn't it nice to be healthy? Isn't it nice to have all these guys that we've been reporting all season long? Well, he's dinged up, he's out. Oh, now he's out, but he's back. Now we have pretty much everybody back. Got a new kid from Texas that seemed to contribute nicely to the line. He's out with an ankle sprain. Hopefully that's nothing big. But, the rest of the season, if we stay healthy, this is the real Fort Morgan Mustang defense.
No doubt about it. Hokenettle unofficially 9 carries for 38 yards. Linker 6 for 11. J.P. Hamer 3 for 11 yards. Jacob Ortega had 7 for 23. Donovan Moya lost a yard. So the Mustangs on the ground had 132 yards, 106 passing, at a total unofficially of 238 yards. How many games? This is game number 7. Excuse me. How many games has Fort Morgan had more yards on the ground than through the air? There can't be too many.
No.
There can't be too many at all. I mean, last week they were able to do it because of a big second half when they ran all those plays on the ground. But essentially, when you look at the first, 22 quarters of the season, the majority of the yards came through the air. So I think what they've done here is that they have established the identity, Brian, that they wanted all along.
Yeah, this is Mustang football here. Just pound the ball, and that's what they've got now with healthy Trey McBride, and you've got they were using Jimmy Keller in the backfield last week also, and you got those 2 big backs in front of him, and he was as you said, he got bottled up there in that second half. That Rodriguez kid was coming untouched there, and was slowing him down. But they've got this is what we thought they could be when they're healthy. That's a ball control run game.
No doubt about it. Time for the Mustang player of the game. In this case, we're looking at players of the game. Mustang players of the game brought to you by Transwest Chevrolet Buick, serving Northeast Colorado, now located in Fort Morgan and Sterling. They've been there for a while. They've got a great selection of new and used vehicles. Stop by and take a test drive. Transwest Chevrolet Buick. By the way, we're also live on Facebook Live besides on B106 and B106.net. We had a little discussion here. Grayson Garver had such a huge first half, played an integral role, and Donovan Moya, who was very good in the secondary and had that pick 6. So co-players of the game, Grayson Garver and Donovan Moya, congratulations on their outstanding performances tonight, along with some of the other Mustangs as well, that propelled them to this 10-point victory. Silver Creek drops to 1-1 in league play. They're 4-3 overall. The Mustangs also 4-3, but the bigger number, they are 2-0 in league play. They've got Thompson Valley next week, and as I mentioned earlier, Kevin, before you came back up here, Thompson Valley will be the softest team remaining on the schedule, but then the competition gets tougher with each and every game. Northridge after that, and then, of course, Longmont to close out the regular season. But they were in playoff mode tonight, and now you got to be in playoff mode for the rest of the season. So we're doing a game on November the 11th.
Right, yeah, there can be no more hiccups the rest of the way. We've got to play this kind of football, and we got to overcome the obstacles that the game throws at us if we're going to be able to make it to the playoffs.
Outstanding job by our sound engineers and producers tonight, Emily Hernandez and Blake Boyer. For Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde, I'm John Beltran on Facebook Live with the final score. The Fort Morgan Mustangs win at home over the Silver Creek Raptors 17-7. And you've been listening to Mustang Football on Morgan County's B106 and B106.net.